Whoop whoop. There it is. Somebody says my favorite Dominican real estate coach. Wow. That is the reason I was coughing just now. You can't make me laugh like that right now. I cannot handle laughing like that right now. I will just start to cough relentlessly if you make me laugh like that. Absolutely hilarious. Your real estate coach. Today we're going to learn about commercial real estate. And I just want to introduce a really great concept to you guys on a Monday. The camera's not, okay? The camera's not. Let me just, okay? That's a little better. Just want to introduce you to you guys to a really great commercial real estate opportunity for everybody. They're very big. They're called data centers, okay? And for the very low price of $100 billion and 99 cents, you can get in on the ground floor of a data center that will take up so much land. It will suck up so much water. There will be so many residents left without water. They will not know what to do with themselves. I'm telling you guys, this real estate opportunity is like nothing you've ever seen. I mean, you can purchase something that is the size of 9 football fields, the size of Manhattan. When's the last time you were able to buy something the size of Manhattan that could also destroy the environment? Okay? This is not a regular ranch opportunity, guys. We're talking about data centers. You will be able to have so many data centers, so much loss of life will be due to your purchase of data centers. Again, all for the low price of $100 billion, 99 cents, 19 easy payments of $100 billion, 99 cents. You can give that payment to me, okay? Or you can put that payment inside of a pentagram and you can just offer it straight to Satan himself. I will give the money to Satan, of course, don't worry. But you could give it to him directly yourself. 19 easy payments, $100 billion, 99 cents. 99 cents is very important. Divide 99 by 3, it's 33. There's a reason that we do that. Shh, can't tell you why. Now, that's the real estate opportunity, guys. If you guys want to get in on the ground floor of a great opportunity, okay? I'm just saying. Gary was right. I am a real estate coach, guys. Which one of you wants to be the first to purchase a beautiful data center? Don't even worry about it. Who was there before? Don't worry about it. The Everglades burning up? Don't worry about it. Huh? I'm telling you, this is an opportunity to buy some great land and to partner up with some great companies. Meta, Google. I mean, come on. Facebook, Instagram, Gmail. What are we talking about here, guys? Huh? Gemini, OpenAI, ChatGPT. Huh? You heard of any of these names, guys? You could be partnered up with these guys. This is not like buying a Chick-fil-A, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? There's a real opportunity here. Anyway. You know, you just keep it in mind. Keep it in mind. You know, it's a long show. You keep it in mind. You can send the $100 billion via Buy Me a Coffee. Everybody knows that. You can send it via Buy Me a Coffee. It's buymeacoffee.com/Coach Colin. You can get your share in a data center. Oh my gosh, just the most evil infomercial ever, you know? Data centers here. We got data centers for everybody, okay? My name's Lindsey Graham, and I have data centers, ladies and gentlemen. Now, these data centers will fuel what's going on in the Middle East. I mean, all the drones and all the death and destruction. It just doesn't happen on its own, ladies and gentlemen. We need data centers for this. We need face recognition. All the data centers power this stuff. People are going to be sponsoring drones like they used to sponsor African kids back in the day. In the arms of an angel. It's just pictures of drones instead of African kids. Instead of African kids with flies on their face and stuff. You remember those? You remember you used to watch those back in the day? You'd be like, this is uncomfortable. I don't want to watch this. It's going to be drones instead. I mean, Lindsey Graham sitting with the drone. This drone has been without face recognition for the past 6 months. If you could just give us $1 billion, this drone will have face recognition. It'll be able to fly all over the Middle East. It'll be able to tell who's under 10 years old and take those suckers out, ladies and gentlemen. We're just trying to get these drones a good home. This little guy right here is called Little Raytheon. Little Raytheon, ladies and gentlemen, Little Raytheon just needs facial recognition. We just need you to... Oh my gosh. Have we even started yet? Your opening statement, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. I'm getting over it. Whew, man. I just want to make that so badly. You guys have, I do whiteface. I act like I'm Lindsey Graham. I wear a pink suit. This is the vision. I go whiteface. I got a blonde wig. I wear a pink suit, right? I'm a sassy Southern gentleman, Lindsey Graham. I have a drone. I just get like a DJI drone. And I just say, this drone right here just needs a special home. It's been 6 months since this drone has slaughtered anybody under 6 years old. This drone just needs to do what this drone was told to do. You have drone operators. This drone operator, his name is Calvin. Okay? He's from Fort Worth, Texas. He's been manning drones for the longest time. And because there's no data centers where he lives, he has not got to man a drone and implement death and destruction all over Syria. He has not been able to do that in the longest time. And you see a guy sitting there like, you know. Anyway, how is everybody? I didn't have that planned. But man, do I love when a plan comes together. You know what I mean? Happy Monday, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not Lindsey Graham. I'm not in a pink suit. Maybe one day we'll do that. But the bottom lip. He's just sitting there with a controller. There's no missiles on his drone, ladies and gentlemen. He used to have raging missiles on his drone. He used to have so many missiles on his drones, ladies and gentlemen, and now he has none. Can you please spare $1 billion? We're asking the American public, please, can you gather together $100 billion? Just a simple payment of $100 billion. So we could give it to Larry Ellison and Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel's on the screen. Just a sign, Will Palantir for food. Anybody? Oh my gosh. Oh my God. I'm not like Baron. I don't even know what a cough button is. Do you guys even know what it is? I don't even know what it is. I don't have one. I don't know. What do you press? Do I press a key on the keyboard? How does he do it? I don't know. I have no idea. This is a high hilarity outfit, as someone once said. Anyway, what's going on, guys? We're live. I'm sorry. I'm getting it's 9 minutes of just me getting sidetracked. But how do I not go deeper into the Lindsey Graham trying to sell you drone technology and getting you to pay for it? For $1 billion, could you just spare $1 billion for this ballroom? And the president's on the screen. He's like, Mr. President here used to dance with such vigor, and now he dances sad. And he's just like this. He just needs $1 billion of taxpayer money. Please. Congress is telling him no. But the American people, we know you'll tell him yes. He just wants a data center with a ballroom on top. Oh my gosh. Anyway, So sorry, guys. so so sorry about that, you know? We're really trying to get it together for people. It's a real opportunity, right? Because also, if you invest in this data center, well, I didn't even tell you the second part. After you invest in the data center and the drones are flying and they're doing what they're supposed to do, there's going to be new real estate opportunities all throughout Gaza. Shh, don't tell anybody I told you. There's going to be new opportunities. Gaza is actually a beautiful place. There's going to be new opportunities. I won't explain to you how, okay? But once the rubble is cleaned up, there's going to be room for a lot of growth. And you could have a hotel with a data center underneath. That's the next project we're working on. This is the most evil real estate coach in the world. This is the most evil real estate salesman in the entire world. Well, once that place is desecrated, you could come in. And I tell you, once we break ground, that cost is going to go up. What you invested in is going to go up at least by 15%. By the time it's all built, it'll be up 30%. And then you can sell it. Who do you sell it to? Well, Saudi Arabia. Right now, they don't have any access to Gaza. But after it's leveled and turned upside down and all the limbs and stuff are cleared out, you'll be able, your data center hotel will be able to be sold to the Saudi Arabians. What are we talking about here? Just making money. Just making money, a hand over fist. You guys ready? Shout out to Gary, friend of the show. That bit was brought to you by Gary, Not So Tactical. Paramount, Not So Tactical. Don't forget Cuba. Oh, yeah. There's going to be some great opportunities in Cuba. It's going to be fantastic. Now, right now, in Cuba, there's no electricity. Shh, it's completely fine. There's no electricity. But soon enough, there will be so much land. And you guessed it, there will be a data center. That's right. It'll be a fantastic data center, too. And once everything's cleared out, all the stuff, once it's all cleared out, you'll be able to invest. Are you ready to invest, guys? Just the most blood on his hands real estate salesman ever, he just doesn't care. He's just like, anyway, thanks, Gary. Thanks for that bit. He really did call me a real estate coach. It was really weird. Really weird. Not making that up. Just saying. Oh man, let's keep going here. Let's jump into the whole Theo Von thing. Theo Von thing was actually kind of weird. It's kind of really weird. Really, really weird. I told you that when Theo Von was on Joe Rogan's podcast, April 2nd, I believe. What is today? We're in May now. We're in mid-May. Wow. We're in mid-May. So April 2nd, he was on the podcast. I told you guys, I was playing off of what Barron was talking about with the intellectual dark web and how you work your way up until you're on Rogan and that you get to be this anti-establishment voice, right? Ben Shapiro used to be a part of it, and Sam Harris, and now they're goofballs, and it's absolutely crazy. And the whole intellectual dark web just looks like a bunch of dorks. It's a scientific term, by the way. That's what it looks like now. But there was this whole thing, and it's very true. But I also compared it to when Dave Chappelle had to do Oprah. Little refresher, Dave Chappelle had to do Oprah. He had to be on Oprah. Why did he have to be on Oprah? Doesn't really make sense. He's Dave Chappelle. Could have been anywhere. In fact, he went on Inside the Actor Studio. He did a real interview over there. But when he did something with Oprah, it was more of a temperature check. I started talking to you about the concept of temperature checks. And that's what tends to happen to people when they kind of go off the rails of the narrative that they're supposed to be in. If you're the slapstick, fun comedy guy who's helping the president get elected and you're friends with the vice president, you don't exactly get to go off on rants about Palantir and Peter Thiel and what's going on in God. You don't get to actually do that. You shouldn't be doing that, which is why Tim Dillon, notoriously, when he was offered a dinner with Peter Thiel to talk about media, he said no. Tim Dillon said no because he's like, I like a little bit of distance because I want to make fun of these people. If I'm friends with them, it's going to be hard to make fun of them. And he said it in front of Joe Rogan, who actually went the other way and decided to be friends with them. The temperature check comes as a way of seeing, perfect example. I wasn't even planning on doing this, but this is a great example. Great example. Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro. A little bit of a temperature check. Let me just put this in here. An interview that he did not want to do at all. Andrew Colvett working just as hard on this investigation as Gary, Paramount Tactical. This is a perfect example of a temperature check, right? I'm not even gonna I'm gonna play it, but I can jump in with it just being just regular at first. Let me throw this in here, right? Really quick. This is Ben Shapiro, big eyebrows, right? Let's check what Charlie's saying here.
There's literally no definition of genocide.
Starting our campus tour tomorrow is that Israel is committing genocide. How do you respond to that, Ben?
There's literally no definition of genocide by which Israel is committing a genocide. Typically, a genocide involves the targeted killing of the vast majority of the population, or at least an attempt to do so. There has never been a genocide attempt in world history in which the food that was being shipped in was more than the daily caloric intake of the average American into the areas where you're supposedly attempting to genocide the population. The total population loss in the Gaza Strip thus far has been 3%. During the Holocaust, just to take a reference, it was 50%. During Rwanda, it was significantly higher than 3%. You don't issue leaflet warnings to people. You don't go house to house. Nobody wants war. Certainly not the Israelis, who are not military, with the possibility that they're going to get blown up in Gaza.
Two other questions on Israel. I think it's very important for our audience to hear this, though, because there is an incessant campaign. And one thing a friend said to me, interestingly, which is, okay, Charlie, we've pushed back against the media on COVID, on lockdowns, on Ukraine, on the border, so maybe we should also ask a question. Is the media totally presenting the truth when it comes to Israel? Just a question, that maybe we shouldn't believe everything the media says, because I know I've been conditioned to ask a lot more critical questions over the last couple of years. So, Ben,
this is Charlie getting a temperature check, right? This is why Charlie didn't want to do it. It wasn't something that Charlie planned on doing. That's not what he wanted. He didn't have somebody's like, people can't stand Ben's voice. Huh? Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. I know. I feel like you guys do. Don't worry. I'm not going to play Ben for an hour. What do you think? I'm going to play an hour of Ben Shapiro? You're out of your mind. But it was a temperature check. And Charlie was showing time and time again throughout this temperature check that he is going to ask different questions than what someone in his position should be asking.
Opinions all over. In your opinion, what would a good outcome 5 years from now be? And
recently coined to describe the area legacy media. Media is like all of the that we own the media has not prevented the Ben, perception the legacy media is like owned by the Jews. And
I was going to say, Ben, come on. You Jews own the media, Ben. So, I mean, come on. As you can tell by all the wonderful headlines you guys get.
Well, I mean, dude, the accusation that we own sort of coalitional government structure, we do know actually from contemporary government is they didn't move fast. I think this should have been a much more accelerated process. Israel set out at the beginning them if they don't stay in the state.
Feedback or criticism would you have about this situation?
So it seems like throughout the whole thing, and I'll just play it muted, because you can tell the way that Charlie looks when he's talking to Megyn Kelly is way different than how he seems when he's talking to Ben Shapiro. Now, Candace already told us that Charlie didn't like Ben. She's proven it. You can see it in this interview. He tried to take them out when they were young. Apparently, that's what's said. When you see him sit down with Megyn Kelly, there's a different type of energy, right? He's very, very happy. He's very, very, very excited about what's going on when he's talking to Megyn Kelly. And they're talking about issues of Charlie getting text messages and kind of getting threatened and his moral character coming into play. Now, I'm just talking about the concept of a temperature check. Charlie failed this temperature check. Okay, he failed it. He wasn't doing the things he was supposed to do in this interview. Dave Chappelle, when he sat down with Oprah, he didn't pass the temperature check that he was going through. You know, he failed. he kept on talking about the things that he wasn't supposed to be talking about. He was supposed to come back and say, oh, I was just a little fatigued. And, oh, I went over there, and he was supposed to make some jokes, and that was going to be it. Instead, he started going into this rant about how he's like, they make you look like you're crazy. He's like, you know what I'm talking about, Oprah? And she's like, okay. And he failed that temperature check, and he went on to be blackballed and, by his own effort, minused himself from comedy for 10 years. A lot of people don't realize that because we had so much Dave Chappelle content, and he was such a big voice in comedy and just in culture. But we didn't realize he wasn't doing anything that he was supposed to do, specials or anything like that, for 10 years. He failed the temperature check. When Theo played the Dave Oprah clip, I don't even know if I can find it. I honestly don't even know if I can find it. Wow, it's the first thing that pops up. Okay. I guess I was wrong. I'll play a little clip of it. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find this. Hold on. Let's see if this even plays. Where's the audio? There it is. Let me see if this even plays.
Reference. I've been in show business since I was 14, and I've heard the stories of what happens, and I've seen these kinds of things play out in front of me.
It's just the biggest song in the world. You can't play that while you're playing the video. Why don't people know this? It's the weirdest thing, man. That person made that video, and then YouTube was like, actually, you don't get any money from that video because you just played the biggest song in the world, actually. Yeah, we're giving it all to Kanye West. Kanye West gets all that money. That's how that works. Here, let me try one more time. If I can't find it, we're going to move on here. We'll try X. X usually has people who are like, I don't even need to play anything over this. Usually. And then you have people just playing the biggest songs in the world here. Oprah. Easy names to spell. Here, let's see. Let's check this. Let's see. It's a little long. I won't play the whole thing. Of course, I found something right away.
I had a schedule, and I bounced. And I didn't tell anybody where I was going. The whole time, they're trying to convince me I'm insane. They were trying to get me to take psychotic medication. Yeah. Like I'm sitting around, I was stressed out.
Just the biggest songs in the world, Just the biggest songs in the world, But even to what he just said just there, that's exactly what Kanye West went through. Kanye West was told, hey, if you don't get in line, we will make it so you are in La La Land. Kanye West has the text message. He showed the text message. The guy said, we will put you in La La Land, and the visits with your kid will never be the same, because he was getting temperature checked. He had an interview with someone named Zayn. There's a guy named Zayn. It's a British guy, I think. And he does all the interviews with the big stars. Had a temperature check with Zayn. Didn't pass it. Then everything that happened with Mr. West started to happen. Let's play another one here. Let me see if this one. Does this one have the biggest song in the world in it as well?
It was completely outside of my frame of reference.
Beautiful.
I've been in show business since I was 14.
Let's go. Beautiful. Thank you, whoever this is.
Out of my frame of reference. I've been in show business since I was 14, and I've heard the stories of what happens, and I've seen these kinds of things play out in front of me.
Okay.
When
you say you heard the stories, what do you mean? What stories?
I mean, you see before, look, Mariah Carey made a $100 million deal, and 3 months later, she's all of a sudden mysteriously crazy. Or Martin Lawrence punches through, and he's waving a gun on the street screaming, they're trying to kill me.
Yeah, we hear those stories.
And it always happens around the time in their career where it seems as though they're crossing over the next plateau.
Yeah. Would you say you lost your mind, sort of?
No, not exactly.
Okay.
I wasn't crazy, but it's incredibly stressful.
Yeah.
And I feel like in a lot of instances, I was deliberately being put through stress. It was completely out.
So she was even asking him straight up, would you say something about your mental state? And he was like, no, I won't say that about my mental state. Right. And I always bring it up. He even touches on the fact that they asked his best friend, who he was working on the show with, whether or not he was smoking rocks, because that was the thing they were putting into the sphere, the TMZs and all those little tabloid type things. They were saying he was smoking rocks. And he said, my friend, Neil Brennan, knew for sure that I wasn't doing that. But instead, he said, I don't know. And Dave seemed very, very upset about this. Very, very upset. He said, I don't know. Instead of just saying straight up, no, I work with this guy 18 hours a day. He wouldn't have time to smoke rocks in the washroom. We would have all known. Temperature check. That was his friend. Now, we're veering off quite a bit. Let me go to where we're supposed to go. We have Theo Vaughn. Theo Vaughn also on a podcast with his friend. Also, because I love Joe so much, I could say, hey, he doesn't even know that he's doing this. I could say that. But I could also say this. I could also say that he's the Oprah of today. A lot of people say it's Candace. No, it's Joe. Joe's definitely the Oprah of today. Just is. He's where everybody goes. He has those big moments, et cetera, et cetera. Was Oprah compromised? What? Do I have to do a whole breakdown on Oprah? What? Okay. No, listen, we're not going down that rabbit hole. I'll just say yes. More than likely. Allegedly, maybe, perhaps. Okay. That's all I'll say about Oprah. Yeah, Oprah is them. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what are we talking about here? Of course. Anyway. So we have Theo Vaughn with his friend. And he kind of gets a temperature check. April 2nd, like I said. This person here, I don't know who this, I gotta follow this Liger. Liger's putting up some pretty solid content. I don't know who this Liger is. Theo Vaughn informs Joe about what's going on in Gaza via Palantir. Joe's first instinct is to question Theo's source, calling it biased, suggesting it's produced by the agency or the Patriot Act. He neglected to mention his own biases, given his close ties to Peter Thiel. Joe has become one of those guys. I won't call him all those names that this guy's trying to call him. I still got love for Joe. Always have love for Joe. But this is just, some of the things that Theo was saying on the podcast.
And
listen, there's going to be some swearing. I mean, it's just too much. Like Theo just swears too quickly for me to get through them all. I'll try though.
Experimental grounds for a lot of insane new warfare type of possibilities. There's that Palantir company just keeping tabs on everything that was happening. And
Palantir's involved in Gaza?
Palantir was involved in Gaza, yeah.
For sure?
Mm-hmm.
Put that into perplexity. Israeli government began using Palantir software in 2014. Significantly scaled up its partnership during the genocide in Gaza, which began in this is for sure a biased source just by the way they phrase that, which began in 2023. Palantir CEO Alex Karpa said, I am proud that we are supporting Israel in every way we can. Israeli military has used Palantir technology to plan attacks in Lebanon and Gaza. The title of this is, what is Palantir and why is this corporation so dangerous? And this is from American Friends Service Committee. American Friends Service Committee. What is that website?
Yeah, that sounds kind of wild or
weird.
Vague.
We bring together people of all faiths and backgrounds to challenge injustice and build peace around the globe. So maybe that's not the best source. I read stuff like that and I go, what is that, a CIA-run company?
I agree.
You know what I mean? Is that the Patriot Act? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, this is not the only thing that I have here. I'll show this as well.
We're going to be okay?
I hope so. Of course. I don't know.
Do you think about it?
I'm confused. I can't believe we went to this war. When we started bombing Iran, I was like, this can't be true.
And what about Lebanon now?
I know. Israel's. Yeah.
And it's like, just fucking stop. Like, what do you need?
Well, they're trying to, supposedly, they're trying to stop the terrorists.
Yeah, that's crazy, though, if you're the fucking terrorist. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to stop them, fucking stand in front of the fucking mirror. And start there.
Joe did not play into that conversation. Just so you understand really quick there. He did not play into that conversation well. Please like the video, guys. It helps tremendously, especially within this first hour. Like the video. Helps tremendously. Let's keep going here. keep going here. Again, this is the first temperature check, and then we're going to go into what Joe recently said about Theo, which was actually very sad. And I don't think people should be saying this about Theo. You shouldn't be spreading this around. I'm going to be saying yeet himself. Let me just make sure. I'm going to be saying yeet himself. I'm not going to be saying the other word, the S word. I'm not going to be saying that. I'm going to say yeet himself. I'm not even going to say harm. I'm not going to say harm. I'm not going to go into yeet. That's what we're using. Yeet. Okay? That's what we're doing here. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's keep going here.
So when you see like how it all played out and why it is what it is today, Jesus Christ, you'd be mad too.
Yeah.
And when you're mad and you're surrounded by bigger enemies that all have nuclear weapons, you don't even have nuclear weapons, wouldn't you be trying to make them? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying Iran should have nuclear weapons. I don't think anybody should have nuclear weapons. They
But
definitely
Israel
should.
gets to have them.
Allegedly. This is the problem. Allegedly.
Everything's allegedly with
But
them.
allegedly. they
Except
have
for the
them.
genocide.
You know, they don't officially have them.
Right.
I don't think they admit they officially have them. And you know who is a big opponent of Israel getting nuclear weapons?
JFK.
JFK.
So you see, Joe's not dumb, you know. I know a lot of people like to think like a guy who's about to be a billionaire is just like dumb. It like makes people feel good. He's not dumb. He's super smart. He talks about these things, but when he's talking with certain people, he doesn't talk about those things. And Theo seems to be one of them. I think Eddie Bravo's another one. I think Sam Tripoli's another one where he doesn't play into the rabbit holes that they want to go down, because those guys will go wild. They will let the cat, the dog, and the snakes out of the bag, and they will go deep into the rabbit hole. It's pretty wild. But this is what and then this is the last thing. This is the last thing where Theo goes off here. And yes, this is from April 2nd. Someone's like, is this an old video? It's like, yeah, we're doing a thing here, okay?
It's all just a cat and mouse game. People are like, we'll elect the Democrats next time. It's like, but it's all the same shit has been happening forever. They haven't been helping anybody forever. They're letting fucking slurp. All of our fucking money goes to Israel. Are you fucking genocide people? It's like everybody is scared out of their wits right now. It's like our religious leaders are afraid to speak out, and it's like it's a time where it's like Satan is amongst us, and our religious leaders are fucking talking about bullshit at the poll. It's just like, what is going? I don't know, man.
We got to get you off those antidepressants, son. You're losing your fucking marbles.
You think I am?
Come hang out with us. Just chill.
I'm
out.
here. It's all just a cat and mouse game. People,
and that was what people were so upset about before when Joe said that to Theo. Because people feel like, and I think it's true, that Theo deserves a lot of respect, you know, with the things that he's willing to talk about and the rabbit holes he's willing to go down and what he's willing to do with his platform. He definitely deserves respect. I said this years ago, that I think in a few years, and this was, I don't know, 2 years ago, I was like, Theo Von will surpass Joe Rogan. That will happen eventually, because there will be roads that Joe can't go down because he's friends with so many people. And there will be roads that Theo doesn't care to go down because he's like, well, whatever, I'm just friends with Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson. I'll say whatever I want. And I'm in Tennessee and I'm not surrounded by comedians. So I'm just going to say whatever I want, talk about whatever I want. I'll cry on my podcast if I want to. I will talk about all these things on my podcast if I want to. And no one's going to stop me. I'll talk to a garbage man or I'll talk to the vice president. And, you know, I think eventually that's going to it's going to overcome JRE eventually. But this is what Joe said recently about Theo. I didn't like it at all. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, this is crazy. Because I still watch Joe's podcast when I have time. You know, I still watch it. And I was like, ooh, this is wild. Like, you don't have to say that about Theo. Anyway.
Theo Vaughn's going through the exact same thing. And last time he was on the podcast, he was explaining it to me. And it freaks me out because I know Theo has had conversations before, like even publicly. He had a Netflix taping and it didn't go well. It was like they actually they shelved it. They never used it. And you know, there was all these stories from people that were there saying he bombed. I think he just had a kind of a breakdown. And then he was talking to the crowd, and there's a video of it where he said, you know, the people were shaking, hey, we still love you. He goes, thank you. Look, I'm trying not to take my own life. That's what I'm trying to do right now. Yeah. And like, you hear stuff like that and you just go like, oh, Jesus Christ. I've known too many people that I didn't think were going to themselves and then did. And then he goes down these spirals where he starts talking about world events and freaking out. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, I got to help this dude. And so I send him things about.
See, that's very interesting, man. He goes down these things, he starts talking about world events, but that's what Joe does all the time. And many people that Joe knows, they do this all the time. Why is it different when Theo does it? I think it's different when Theo does it because he's not supposed to. I think he's not supposed to. I think he's getting very, very big and he's becoming more powerful. His voice is becoming more powerful and he's not supposed to go down these world events. Because what is he talking about when he says world events? Well, it's the stuff that I showed you. He's talking about Palantir. He's talking about these big companies. He's questioning whether or not what he did was right in terms of helping the current administration get into power. He's starting to question all of that. Is that the spiral? A lot of people say, oh, well, he talks to Candace. And it's like, so what if he talks to Candace? Candace doesn't have control over Theo. You can tell. If Joe doesn't have control over Theo, Candace definitely doesn't have control over Theo. Again, he's in the place that he's in right now, not so he can just be cool with Candace, but it's because he's away from the Hollywood sphere. And Hollywood is Hollywood, but also a second Hollywood that's developed is Austin. And he just stays away from it. He just does his shows and that's it. Anyway, let's keep going here.
People getting off of them, and apparently there's some doctors that specialize in getting people off of them. But here's the thing about that chemical imbalance thing. That's not real. They used to think that that was what these things do, that they treated a chemical imbalance. But then recently, studies have shown that that is not what they do. They don't exactly know what they do. And they kind of numb you in some sort of a way that helps some people. Theo.
So everybody saw that. Everybody got upset about that. Again, because Theo Von, right? And there are going to be people, just like last time. I remember an investigative journalist who's been, on everybody's show and doing a lot. When this happened the first time with Theo Von and Joe, she was like, you should be grateful to Joe Rogan. How dare you guys get upset with Joe Rogan? And it's like, well, have fun on his show. We get it. Okay. We understand. We've seen virtue signaling from the left, and obviously we still know what it is, even if it comes from the right. It's fine. Virtue signal all you want. But you can't tell us that we should be grateful. Right? We're the audience. We're the people that watch. So we get to say, hey, what is this? This is crazy. And obviously you're never going to control what Joe says. That's not happening at all, ever. But, you're still going to voice your opinion. Happens with me all the time. I'm constantly talking about stuff like this. And I'm sure there's some people who are like, hey, why don't you talk about this and blah, blah, blah. And then this person actually found this. Why isn't it showing all the way? Beautiful. So this is posted on Facebook, and then this was posted by Theo Von himself. So Theo Von saw this clip and he said, this is mostly cap. Sad to see this kind of stuff. I'm doing great. I'm a human being, which is a rocky ride, but I'm doing fine. Thanks. So there you go. So Theo actually had to say something about it. Last time, Theo was like, hey, leave Joe alone. He was kind of like in that camp of things. This time he's like, hey man, like, what are you doing here? Like, you shouldn't be saying that about me on my on your podcast. Like, you should kind of let me address things like that, which I think is true. I think Theo is a big voice in and of himself, just as big as Joe, in my opinion, especially culturally with how many people love Theo, like love him, like undying, like just grand love that people have for Theo. He's a big enough voice. He could address that if he had that going on. And honestly, he does. He just did a podcast where he was crying and he said, I want a new story. I don't want to cling to the story I've had my whole life. And I want a new story. And he was talking about his connection with God and how he prays. And even as he's praying, he knows there's a part of him that's lying to God about what he will do and not do anymore. I mean, it was beautiful. It's incredible. So he doesn't need somebody to say something like that. We have not seen Joe correct this yet. When it came to the Charlie Kirk stuff, Joe was very quick to correct it. Very, 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 very quick to correct it. You would think he'd be just as quick to correct something like that when it comes to Theo, because, that's his boy. But again, if you go with my theory, he hasn't. I'm just checking, just in case, But if you go with my theory, temperature check. You get a temperature check, you don't pass, and then somebody says something like that about you. Happens all the time. Again, happened with Kanye. Kanye was absolutely crazy, and all this stuff happened with Theo. Theo is now, someone to be worried about. It keeps happening when people fail these temperature checks. Candace really failed the temperature check. I mean, to the point where Alex is saying to her, hey, she needs to get checked in, and I know what this is, and she needs to be committed. He's like, I love her. And I don't want to see anything happen to her, So she's failed the temperature check multiple times. Over the years. She probably fails a temperature check every 3 years. And they probably have stopped checking. They're just like, okay. She's a terminal patient now. And then he also said this on Facebook. What is this? Someone just messaged me about real estate. My phone is listening to me. So this random thing just messaged me about real estate. Get out of here. That's so funny. He actually recently said this on Facebook, apparently. Hey, some people are saying false stuff and posting things online, trying to make it look like I'm struggling or something. That's just not entirely true. I'm doing fine now. I'm a human being like most of us. I'm going through human moments, and some of them are, well, how they are. They are just human moments. And some days are awesome and some days are hectic, but I'm doing great. People want to say things, and I don't know why. I can't control that, but I can speak up for myself. Amen. Have a great weekend. I'm going to the rodeo. Good for him. He does have to do that kind of thing. And also, where do I have this clip? I'll talk about it, but I don't think I can play it. There's another clip where he actually says in this clip, he directs it straight to Robin Williams. That's a great, yes, trigger smart. Robin Williams was a big one. We forget about Robin Williams. A lot of people don't like to talk about Robin Williams. Anthony Bourdain was like that as well. That's why I have his picture here with his eyes gone. That's why I have that there. Because his last tweet is very telling. It's still up. You can go look it up. Go look up who he's talking about and what he's saying about that person that he's talking about. And again, I won't get into it, but yes, Anthony Bourdain's one of them. Robin Williams is another one that just weren't going along with the whole Hollywood thing. Weren't going along the way they were supposed to. But in this clip here, he even says, and he directs it straight towards the tweet is wiped. Is it? Well, I have it right here. Here. What's it? It says, I am in no way an HRC fan. I've been on the receiving end of her operative's wrath, and it ain't fun since it's been wiped. Figured I'd just put that out there. That is the last tweet. One of his last tweets. I shouldn't say the exact last tweet. Michael Jackson's another one. 100%. 100%. Michael Jackson was doing exactly what Mr. West was doing. He was calling out names. He was saying this executive and this person. It's these people. He was calling one of them the devil. He was like, I did good business, and now they're coming after me because I did good business. Because the temperature check was for him, the temperature check was, hey, are you going to be willing to play ball with all this publishing that you own? Because it's worth like, $1 billion back in the day. And he was like, no. He's like, I did good business. Why do I don't have to give up any of this. He's like, I own the Beatles. I own Eminem. He's like, well, what's the big deal? I don't understand. Brittany Murphy was another one. You're 100% right. Prince was another one. You're 100% right. Yep. Ooh, man. Mel Gibson's another one. That's true. He did fail that temperature check. Chester Bennington. Yeah, that's another one. A sad one. Especially when you know what he had going on before, All these people who have been brought up. Britney Spears is another one, 100%. Justin Bieber is one as well. We'll see what happens with him. John Lennon was definitely one. Kurt Cobain was 100% one. Kurt Cobain was going to stop making music. Stop making music, you're not worth a lot. Some musicians are worth more passed away than they are alive. Kobe was definitely one. A lot of people don't know Kobe was in the process of suing a big pharma company. And it was a big lawsuit, real big lawsuit. A lot of people don't know that. He was in the midst of doing that while also winning an Oscar and all this stuff that he was doing. He was also in the process of that lawsuit. Chris Cornell's another one. Yep, definitely. Aaron Carter was a big one because he literally was like, hey, we got to talk. I think he said that to Kanye. He's like, we got to talk immediately. And he was gone. There's so many. Yep. Anyway, Theo says in this clip, hey, Philadelphia, I should show it. I would never yeet. I would never do that to myself. I would never do that. I love my family. He said he loves his siblings. He's doing just fine. He wishes to one day have a wife and meet his own children. He said he would never do something like that. For you to be his friend and know that this clip is out there and then say that about him, that's no good. It's just not. And believe me, even people in the comments, some people are like, stop excusing Joe Rogan. I always excuse Joe Rogan. Always. But I know as a person, you're not supposed to do that. If I had information like that about any of the creators that you know that I knew, I would not say that about them at all. Not even close. Not even close. Even if I thought it, I wouldn't say it. Say it to them, maybe, But I never put that out there. But again, they put these things out there. It's public opinion. It's public opinion. In my opinion, that's a warning. Your good friend is now telling everybody, hey, this guy's something to worry about. If something were to happen to him, oh man, I feel like it would have been him that's at fault, nobody else. Just saying. I know there's going to be some people that don't like that I'm saying that, but that's not a thing that you say about your friend. You don't do that to your friend. Like, what are we talking about? Like, you never do that to your friend. Put it out there like that. It's crazy. So obviously a lot of people did not like what Joe had to say about this whole thing. People were very mad, This person even said, it seems like Joe's trying to set him up to look as though he would do that to himself, Another person says Joe Rogan got the call to throw Theo Von under the bus. He's cooked, and Theo is just getting started. Yeah. I mean, he is just getting started. Theo hasn't even really gotten to work on that whole thing. Like when I say that, I mean like Candace is getting to work. Candace is working. She's not playing around with this whole thing, right? Tucker's getting to work. He's not playing around with this whole thing. Theo's barely even got it started. Theo's just like, he's just throwing out things here and there on a podcast or two. He's not even really getting into everything that he knows yet. You can imagine the next time he sits down with Candace, what that podcast is going to look like. I'm sure it's going to happen. Joe threw his friend Theo Von under the bus. Wow. A lot of people feel this way. If you actually cared about your friend and the state of their mental health, you wouldn't be publicly speaking on it like this. Let me publicly shame my friend. Since he decided to badmouth Philadelphia on my show. Theo Von will surpass Joe Rogan soon, I bet. I think so. I think Theo's just a massive talent. One thing that Lionel said about me, he was kind enough to say this about me. He's like, people, you connect with people. He's like, you're like a friend. He's like, you actually connect with people. He's like, you're authentic in that way. That's exactly. Theo has that times 100. Anyway, somebody says, who is HRC? I can't say it. Isn't that interesting? I actually can't say it for you. Anyway. So, that's the temperature check that was going on with Theo. That is what was happening. And listen, that's my opinion. That's what I think is going on there. I think somebody was like, it's time. This guy's not getting in line. And it's about time that we let him know how bad that this can get. Like I said, when Dave Chappelle had that happen and Neil Brennan said it, nobody was closer to Dave Chappelle at the time than Neil Brennan. And I say nobody, not even his wife and his kids were as close at that point, because the Chappelle show took like 8. Film and television is crazy. It's a wild beast what they put you through hours wise. It's like an 18-hour thing. And if you're not close to home, you might just be like, okay, I'm sleeping in the studio. There have been many times working movies where I've slept in the car. I'm just like, oh, okay. I would always try to get home to my wife, but if I was too tired, I'd be like, well, I have to sleep here for like 2 hours. I'll drive an hour home or 2 hours to get back to my lady. I'll be with her for 2 hours and then I'll go back to work. There's been many times, but sometimes it's just too dangerous to drive. You're too tired. So nobody was closer to Dave than Neil Brennan. And when they said, Neil, is he smoking crack? He said, I don't know. What a thing to say. But he had to say it because Dave stepped out of line. There was a contract that Dave was supposed to stay to. He was supposed to get paid somewhere in the range of like $200 million because they based it on percentage, his deal. They said, if it does this well, you'll get this percent. They didn't realize the Chappelle show was going to be the Chappelle show. So when it all of a sudden did incredible numbers, they went, you know what? We can't pay you 9 figures. We're just going to pay you $50 million. And he said, what? That's like a quarter of what you owe me. And they were like, yeah, you can take it or leave it. So you want to do the 3rd season? And he said, you know what? Screw you. I'm not going to do the 3rd season and I'm not going to take that money. I'm out. It's crazy. You know? Ye, same thing. Ye had a net worth of $11 billion. And he said, you know what? Screw all that. And they said, screw it all. And his net worth went down to $400 million. That's still an enormous amount of money. But not when you were just the richest African-American in U.S. history. That's pretty wild. He walked away. It's all coming back. He's a billionaire again. But it's like, you know, it's wild. It's wild. He would have earned 500 million. Yeah, it was a crazy number like that Dave Chappelle would have earned. It was something just too much. Like they were at this, Comedy Central was just like, this is crazy. We can't give this guy this much money. This is nuts. We thought this would be like a basic show. We thought this would be like Crank Yankers. We thought this would be like, half of the Daily Show or something like that. We didn't realize it would be the most successful sketch show in comedy history. We didn't realize that's what we had here. Or else they would have capped them off. They would have said, we'll give you $50 million. They would have said, just that. But Dave gambled on himself. And he said, percentage, no problem. I got it. We'll see what happens. Anyways, guys. Temperature checks happen. Pray for Theo Von. Pray that he is protected and pray that he is guided with his new fame, because a lot of people are watching him. A lot of people are watching him really close. Really, really close. Someone said my soul isn't for sale. Well, it's not, but I don't know if you heard, there is a great opportunity. My soul is not for sale, but there is 1,000, 10,000 acres, in fact, hundreds of thousands of acres throughout America that are for sale. And you could be the owner of a data center. You could put a ballroom on top. You could put a house on top. You can put a drone. You can put a drone landing pad on top. There's just so many things that you can do. Isn't Dave from New York? No, Dave's not from New York. Actually, he might be. I don't know. I have no idea. I just know he's been in Ohio forever, so I figured he was from Ohio. Let's keep going here. We gotta move on. But again, pray for Theo Von. I think he's gonna be fine, but he's coming into something very new. Very, very new. Very, very, very new. and we'll have to see what ends up happening with this whole thing. Hopefully he is able to stay where he's at. I think he should stay in Tennessee. Before I was like, this guy needs to move to Austin. Why wouldn't he? Joe loves him. Like, he would be good. He'd be on stage every night. Now I kind of understand. I'm like, oh, he's like staying away on purpose. Not like Joe's some evil person, but it's like when you're immersed in the Hollywood people, you know, it's not as good as you think it would be, especially if you're Theo Von. It's good to be around some people that just keep you level-headed, you know, normal people who treat you like a normal person. It's kind of the best way to be. You know, when I leave this room, like, it doesn't matter what you think of me. When I leave this room, there's diapers, and there's, you know, kid wants to go on their bike, and, you know, there's food, and there's spit up, and there's, you know, and there's tantrums, mainly from me. No, I'm kidding, from the toddler. But it's yeah, it's good. It's good to be centered by something rather than being inflated by something, which is what happens when you're around all these comedians who possibly look up to you, because he is Theo Von. And a lot of people that Joe has are new. A lot of them. If you go to the mothership, it's a lot of new guys who would probably look at Theo and be like, oh, shoot, it's Theo Von. He's here. He's a super famous guy, man. He doesn't act like it. Doesn't feel like it when you're hearing him talk, but he is very powerful. More powerful than he lets on. Maybe even more powerful than he knows. I don't know. Anyway. I could talk about this all day. The temperature checks in Hollywood and what they do to people, and what they put people through, and the kind of stuff they try to pull on people, and what they're willing to do. I mean, it's just like politics. You know, politics, they'll do you away. They'll get rid of you for nothing. For nothing. Just if you just get in the way a little bit. I mean, look at Charlie. Come on. You know, in Hollywood, it's the same thing. You get in the way. You're getting in the way of these people, this deep state. The same way there's a deep state in politics, there's a deep state in Hollywood. I've talked about it before. There's a massive deep state of people that you just never see. And it goes from the top executives all the way to the people who are actually on set, and it spreads. It's like mycelium. It's like this little network of mycelium, and you say a thing, and this grip hears you, and this grip tells this key, which is the head of the department, and then that guy tells the set director, and this person, and he's friends with a producer, and before you know it, you're being looked at a certain way for having a certain opinion. It's crazy the way it works. Crazy. And if they want you, they'll get you. If they don't want you, they'll get you out as quick as they can. That's why stuff like this is just, it's messing with them. They don't know what to do with it. I hope you're enjoying your coffee. Hope you're enjoying your coffee this morning. Hope you're enjoying your coffee right now. Oh, laughing and gagging to the phlegm sounds. Oh my gosh, so much phlegm. You have no idea. I ran 2 miles today. So I'm not playing around with this weight loss thing anymore. I'm throwing some cardio at this thing. All these trainers are like, oh, just strength train and just strength train. No. Your boy's got some layers of fat to get off. So I'm running. Like, why not? Got to take advantage of this weather. Why wouldn't I? I can run all the time. So I'm just running from now on. Did I throw that in the chat? Oh, I was supposed to throw this link in the chat for this coffee. I keep forgetting to do that because people like to buy the coffees. I saw a couple people put an essay in the coffee place. We'll see what happens there. Somebody put like an essay in there. We'll be reading that at the end. We do read coffees. We read coffees like we do super chats, of course. But of course, we still read the super chats. Come on, you know. But let's go. Let's keep going. We got Candace Owens, guys. Candace Owens, ladies and gentlemen. Get off that tab. Get on this tab. Oh, still working through the sickness. Sweating a little bit right now because of the whole sickness thing, but I'm getting through it. I heard Baron cough. I know he has a cough button, but I could tell by the way he coughed, he has the same type of cough I did. Sabby, when Sabby was on the show, she had the same type of cough I did. My trainer right now showed me he had the same type of cough. It's like, it's going crazy this is happening from the top of Ontario all the way to the bottom of Texas. People are experiencing this weird thing going on. And don't say it in the comments, but you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, we got Candace Owens. Candace Owens, if you didn't know, I'll go to this. really quick. Candace Owens basically showed proof of the email. Okay. Here in NYC, yeah, of course, it's everywhere. It's crazy. Candace was showing proof of the. Let me write this properly. Proof of the email that was sent around about Erica via the White House. Okay, it's very weird. Someone said soft launch. Oh no, don't say that. Jeez. See how people handle it, then turn up the gas. So she basically showed this Erica video clip of Erica leaving the ballroom, stating that I just want to go homes, driving the highest engagement of all incident related content across platforms. Current digital assessment, strongest emotional response asset associated with the incident, high cross ideology circulation, evulated. Say the word properly. Come on. Elevated. There you go. Repost velocity among political commentary accounts, increasing use as a symbol framing device regarding media conduct and national stability narratives. Recommendation: all communication channels should amplify this clip, coordinate with our digital partners, and approve surrogates, aka dudes like Officer Tatum, Benny Johnson, boy oh boy am I going to talk about Benny Johnson soon. What he did to Thomas Massie is gross, absolutely gross, so gross. To elevate reach and ensure dominant placement in the overnight information environment. Very interesting stuff. Now, a lot of people didn't like this. Mainly people who don't like Candace didn't like this. She broke down what she is showing you here. She basically said, as we reported yesterday, approximately 1 hour following the incident at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, the White House Military Office sent this email amplification of Erica's I Would Just Want to Go Home clip. Why so sad? Eventually, the email, I have to put that on the shirt. I have to. The email was sent to the wrong internal groups, then attempted to have IT revoke the email, et cetera, et cetera. I have manually retyped the relevant portion of the email that they wanted destroyed. As I explained on my show yesterday, this is because the DoD's IT department has imprinted the email with canary tactics to identify individual leaks. So the question is now is why did the military so quickly prioritize making Erica the face of the incident? Is that the normal emergency protocol, or was this unnaturally pre-planned? So this is what she's showing us. And she is saying, we'll just leave this right here. She is saying that she retyped it, right? So a lot of people are like, okay, she retyped it. I don't like this whole thing. I like seeing what was exactly written, right? I would love to see the actual thing. But like she said, she's going to get somebody fired or worse if she releases what she actually has. I do believe that she has this. I don't think, like, I know Gary will be like, oh, she's just making things up, guys. Oh, look at this. This is just made up. This is just typed. It's just typed out. That's all it is. I know that's what all these people think. I think she wouldn't go this far into something unless she had the actual thing. Unless this story was 100% real and she did receive this email, I don't think she would go out on a limb like this, you know? So that's me. Now, because the reason I'm showing you this, because you already knew that she did this, but the reason I'm showing you this is because her talking about this more caused this weird firestorm. Very weird. And the people who got the most mad, I guess I say mad, sassy, period. The people who got like that the most were the Turning Point people. It's very weird. But I saw the connection. As soon as she started talking about this letter and she went a little further into this letter and what this was all about, all of a sudden it activated a bunch of people. Now, I'm going to keep going through this, right? I'm bringing you the XT right now. You know, when I don't have anything to blow out, but I feel like I do, you know? I don't have a cough button. How do you do a cough button? Yeah? Is Baron here? Baron, how do I have one? Oh, the vibration all through my head. Anyway, So Candace wrote this. The email can be FOIA requested. Can it? I wonder. Can it be FOIA requested? I don't know if it can. Well, I guess it. That's interesting. Because if it's not supposed to go to people and they're trying to. Yeah, it is a cough. You're telling me what I have. You're not even here. You can't even see the stuff that's coming out of my body. How's that for not a cough for you, buddy? Also, as we revealed on today's show, Caroline Leavitt's team was CC'd on the email, so reporters can feel free to ask the White House press office. This is weird, and the public should demand answers regarding why, an hour after what happened, the military concerning itself with boosting Erica as a part of a psychological operation. Now, that's her opinion. I think that opinion is valid. Somebody said, why so sick? I'm not always sick. I got sick twice this year. No, twice in 2 years. Who were the surrogates used to boost the Erika Kirk video? Who were the surrogates? I think everybody you saw amplify it like crazy, I think those people are the surrogates. That's my thinking. I think Officer Tatum would be a surrogate, possibly. I think Benny Johnson. I've always said Officer Tatum, Benny Johnson, they're company men, whatever they're told to do. I don't even think they need money. I just think if someone said, hey, Benny, we need you to say this and post this, I think he would just do it. I don't even think he needs any financial anything. I think if they just tell him this is the narrative, run with it, I think he just does it. I honestly do. I don't think they even have to give him a check. I think they just say, okay, like, do you want us to push for us to focus on someone else or give someone else all the interviews? Do you want the president to make up a nickname for you? Benny Johnson, do you want him to start talking about like what Milo's talking about and making speculations about like your sexual preference and stuff? If you don't, just post this. I don't think there's any money involved with Benny. Possibly. Or Benny's like a big guy on the inside and he's like, hey, I need my check. Where's my 7,000? I posted your stupid AI clip. Give me my 7,000. Where's my money? Maybe that's how he is. I don't know. He might get down on the inside. It's a well-known thing. Gay people are very focused on their money. They don't play around when it comes to money. They really don't. They're very focused businessmen. He's not gay, though. He's not gay. Why did I even say that? He's not. He's straight. He's straight as an arrow. Everybody knows that. Hey, listen, the guy has 5 kids, man. The guy has 5 kids. You got 5 kids. You're allowed to do a little something strange for a little change. You know what I mean? He has 5 kids. He pulled rank. That's king dad status. That's almost Baron status when it comes to kids. He's allowed to experiment a little bit, still be straight. He has 5 kids. Come on. What are we talking about here? Anyway, Gary, of course, says these are real. Trust me, bro. I don't care if you support Candace or not. I don't care if these end up being verified as true. Now, we have to pause right there with Gary. Hey, Gary. Like, how much is Gary going to expose himself? No pun intended. This is crazy. So he's just straight up like, I don't even care if this is true. I'm still going to say what I have to say. If you accept this as proof of anything, you're gullible. So he's like, even if this email that she put out there is true, even if it really did come from people in the White House, you're still gullible if you think it's proof of anything. Listen, I know some people don't like the use of this word, but is he retarded? A serious question. This is coming from a real estate coach, so I don't know. I have to ask the question. What's wrong with him? Is he a surrogate? Is he fighting to become one of the approved surrogates? It's just so crazy. Anyway, an honest person, much less a real journalist, would see this as the beginning of a story. They wouldn't share it. What? This guy shared Andrew Colvette's text messages that he wasn't supposed to share. What is he talking about? They see it as the start of a story, then verify, source, and document. He never verified Andrew. This is crazy. This is nuts. Gary is so nuts. He didn't verify what Andrew Colvette told him, and he was saying it just as Andrew was telling it to him, and he was saying it like it was a true story. Gary has to understand, we're never going to forget that happened. We're never going to go, oh, I forgot that this guy was peddling somebody else's words secretly as what was supposed to be secret. He was just saying someone else's words, presenting them as facts that he had verified and sourced. When in reality, he had not verified the picture. He didn't even ask any questions. He was reading it to us as he was seeing it. Blind. We're never going to forget that. Never. He doesn't have a leg to stand on. I don't understand why he does this all the time. That's why I look at this and I go, oh, is he I can't say he's getting paid. I would never say that. But what's going on? I don't know. It's really weird to me. Really weird. And I'm not allowed to say he's getting paid. I can't say that? That is crazy. Because what else does it seem like? I don't know, man. I'll just, as charitable as I can be, it just seems dumb. That's it. Okay? That's me being charitable. No financial incentive, just him being dumb. That's about it. That's what I can say. It's so crazy to me. We're never going to forget that you were just saying things that Andrew was telling you to say, and you were going to use that picture. You weren't even supposed to use the picture. You were supposed to see the picture and say, Erika was with her kids. I verified it. When in reality, what he would have verified is that there was a picture with two kids that clearly aren't her kids with their faces covered. And he would have presented that to his entire audience and anyone willing to listen as if it was fact and verified. And then he starts talking about people verifying things. It's madness. This is what happens when you care more about narrative than the truth. I mean, this is how you end up with defamation lawsuits. When Americans accept this, we get duped. We lose our country to political and foreign propaganda. I mean, listen, if you have served the country, thank you so much for your service. But also, you have been a part of the largest propaganda machine that the world has ever seen. What? He's trying to compare. Is he comparing Candace Owens to what he himself was a part of and probably still is adjacent to, if not fully still involved in? He's comparing that. When you listen to Candace Owens, you get duped. No, when you listen to the mainstream news, you get duped. When you listen to guys like Gary, you get duped. When you listen to guys who are affiliated with agencies and DOD and all this stuff, that's when you get duped. Not when you just listen to Candace for 49 minutes a day, 4 days a week. What? Anyway, friend of the show, by the way, Gary, friend of the show. And then he shows what Candace showed us with Mitch Snow. And then he also shows this. And he says, you're being duped. Yeah, Benny Johnson. Exactly. You know what I mean, man. You know what I mean. You know, I hate to do it to them, but clearly they're the ones duping people. Let's move on. Then after this comes out, so you've seen Gary activate, and then all of a sudden, Blake Neff activates his battle button. Oh no. Oh no, ladies and gentlemen. He activated his battle button. It is on and popping. It is on and popping, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? That is what you're seeing right here. Blake's battle button has been activated. Shout out to the Babylon BB. They made sure to share this. But as that started happening, this story came out from the Daily Mail. It was very weird. So as Candace is talking about having proof, she's showing what's said inside the email. Gary's ranting about getting duped. Kandahar Giants, just so everybody knows, something that I heard, don't know where I heard it from. Just as all that's happening, all of a sudden, this battle button is everywhere. just out of nowhere, excuse me, guys, this story comes from the Daily Mail. Let me show you the story, if you didn't know this or not. So the Daily Mail, bombshell secret video of Charlie Kirk naming his wife as Turning Point successors day before his passing. Okay. So the Daily Wire, the Daily Wire, Freudian slip there. The Daily Mail says secret video of Charlie Kirk naming his wife as successor. It gets community noted right away because people actually go and read the actual article. Says this article does not include or embed the secret video referenced in the post, which has never been publicly released. So right away they get community noted. Candace, of course, is one of the first people to comment on this. She actually shows us a little bit about what's actually said. We're going to get deeper into that. She does have a back and forth with the author or the journalist who was getting the statements, apparently. And I'm going to give my opinion because I think this is kind of fugazi. I really do. They put this article behind a paywall because its contents are so absurd that even the journalists are too embarrassed to perpetuate it. Here's what it says. The video of the Aspen Donor Conference has never been released publicly, but the Daily Mail has been given exclusive access to screen the full video report in its contents. That's very interesting. Report on its contents and speak to individuals who were in the room at Aspen that day. Okay. So the secrecy around the video has become a major point of contention for critics of Turning Point and its new CEO, Erika Kirk. Yep, you read that right. They did a special, this is Candace now. They did a special screening just for the Daily Mail writers, and they are reporting that the video is like totally legit. So why won't Turning Point just release it? Don't worry, I'll save you the time. The first reason is because, well, does it really even matter if the video exists? Well, that's what Blake says, right? She's being a little facetious there, kind of quoting Blake and what he's been saying about the whole thing. So now right away, they're basically saying, hey, we saw it and we talked to people who were there. You have to remember who these donors are, right? I'm just going to get into it before I even read the whole thing. You got to remember who the donors are. Could it be possible? It could be possible that they didn't talk to anybody. They could just be working with Turning Point. It could be a thing where they're just like, yeah, don't worry. That could be a thing. But isn't it easy to just have 3 people who are donors say, I remember that exactly. Yeah, I remember the exact moment Charlie said that he was appointing Erika his successor. I remember that so clearly. Do you think they couldn't get 3 Zio Rangers to actually say that? They got Josh Hammer to say that when Charlie said that he was leaving the pro-Philadelphia cause, that it was just a joke. They got him to say that it was just a joke. But Andrew gave just a joke to the authorities to look into. They actually did that. They actually tried to pull that on people, right? Talk about getting duped. If you actually listen to Josh Hammer, what he has to say about things. So do you think that they could possibly get 3 people who donate? Here's the thing. Here's another thing. Could they get Josh Hammer and 2 other guys to just donate $40 to Turning Point? Here's another thing. Could they get Ben Shapiro, who's donated $1 million to Turning Point? Could they get him to be one of the people who just goes, I remember, I was there. Yes, I was there. And I was there. I was on Matt Walsh's shoulders. I was there. And yes, I did hear Charlie Kirk say that. And I was so relieved that he said that because it's clearly the best person to be on the board and CEO. It was Erika, of course. And there's so many options. There's so many options to dupe the writers. This isn't me not even saying that the writers are in on it. I'm just saying there's so many scenarios that we can bring up where this could happen. We'll go back to what Candace is saying here, or what she's showing us the article says, because it is behind the paywall and there's 0 chance I'm paying for this. Several Turning Point allies feel that too much attention has been focused on the video from Aspen and said it was always clear to them that Charlie had intended for Erica to lead the organization in his absence. That's very interesting. Why would he do that? You know, why, if the job is so dangerous that it's like getting to the point where Butler happens and they're like, wow, this is crazy. We got to watch our major conservative voices. This is getting very dangerous. And then Charlie goes, yeah, my wife will handle it. Would you do that to your wife? Hey, in case if something happens to me and I'm dead and gone, I want you to take over. So fit yourself for a bulletproof vest and get on out there, okay? You ever debated? You know, you're going to take debate classes, okay? Just make sure, okay? The blue hairs, the people with blue hair, they tend to bite. You got to keep them very far away, okay? Don't get like this close to them. They bite. They do. Yeah, it's crazy. And their spacers, they stink. Their spacers stink a lot. So just steer clear of those people. But you'll be fine, honey, okay? Why would you do that to your wife? Why would you do that to your wife? I would never do that to my wife. The dangerous position? One of my boys, Andrew. Get in there. You've been beside me the whole time. You and Mikey, co-CEO. Mikey's young. He has the voice of the young people. He understands what young people know. You understand what I know. You guys co-CEO. You guys do that. Go ahead. That's what I would do. I'd be like, not my wife. I love my wife. And if I'm gone, that means the kids only have one parent. I can't do that to my wife. I'll keep going here. One board member who wished to remain anonymous, hey, okay, confirmed to the Daily Mail he was personally involved with personal, financial, and estate planning with the couple after they were married. That kind of gives away who it could be, possibly. That's like Baron level research, though. Listen, Baron and Daisy, if you guys are here, go ahead and you can run with that one. Figure out who that donor is. During those discussions, they made it clear that if anything should happen to Kirk, his wife would be responsible for the organization that he had founded. Erica knows more about Charlie's feelings and emotions and where he wanted to bring Turning Point than anybody else out there. The board member said, the board already knew that the plan was because they talked about it with Charlie. Or sorry, what the plan was because they talked about it with Charlie. Everybody knew. Friends of Charlie Kirk also told the Daily Mail that he frequently spoke about his wife taking over the organization in his absence. That is the craziest thing ever. That is the craziest thing ever. Why on earth would he be saying it from the rooftops? Like, I need my wife to take over. That's here. Let me just put that out there. That's crazy. That doesn't make any sense. So he was telling everybody, hey, I need Erica to take over. I need Erica to take over. Who knows? I mean, he could have been like MK'd and maybe he was saying all that. I don't know. I still haven't let go of that theory. And the second reason they won't release it, this is Candace again, because apparently Turning Point no longer remembers how to black out a body in editing or mute its voice. They want to protect the person asking the question. Why? Okay, and here's the last thing that it said in the article. While the public release of the video won't prove Owens's suggestions of it to be a fraud, some in the organization believe good faith efforts would be rejected and the video would be weaponized. By weaponized, they mean that people start analyzing the video to see if it's AI, which I don't know if that's weaponization more than it is just people, looking into it deeper. On top of those concerns, the donor asked, the succession question does not want her question and identity to be revealed to the public. Sources within the organization told the Daily Wire. Yes, Turning Point, this is Candace again, Turning Point now wants you to trust the experts. They continue to have zero respect for the public. Anyway, pretty wild. Pretty wild. I don't understand why that would be happening. Doesn't make any sense. Oh man. So it's a lady who had Let me go back to this. So it's a lady who, if we go back to the top, let me see, where is that where they talked about? So one board member who wished to remain anonymous confirmed the Daily Wire. He was, okay, so this is another person. He was personally involved with personal, financial, and estate planning with the couple after they were married. So that's one person. I wonder who that could be. That's very hard to tell. And then the second person who actually asked the question was a woman. Huh. And then Charlie was like, you know what? I'll just let somebody who's older than me and the mother of my children, I'll just let them handle business. It's fine. I mean, it just seems so ridiculous. It just seems super, super ridiculous. I don't know. Could be wrong. Maybe it's completely normal. Then Candace says, yes, it's totally legit, Mel. The company, which WHORED, Charlie's name onto hats, t-shirts, books, selfies taken beneath the recreated tent where he passed away under, is suddenly a bit shy about sharing old footage of him. Trust the science. It's very odd because in an interview, actually, Erika said there's so much old footage of him and that she couldn't wait for the public to see the old footage. So it's like, if you're already going to do something like that, then, you know, what's the issue? I don't get it, you know? Anyway, like I said, this activated a bunch of people. Blake being one of them. Blake Neff says, dropped a text message. And this is what Blake showed. This is it's actually one of the first text messages that Blake has chosen to show everyone. And this is, I believe this is Telegram. This could be a text message, actually. He could have just like screenshotted it and made it real small. Charlie Kirk, these Candace loyalists are hilarious. Interesting. This is what Blake is saying was said. So, you know, just to show you where Blake actually posted this. Charlie Kirk, this is Candace talking about Charlie. Candace is going in with the paragraphs today. Call Candace Miss Paragraphs today. So this is where he actually posted it. It's when Candace said, Charlie spoke repeatedly against women climbing the corporate ladder, even living with spouses. Erika reinforced this as her position multiple times, multiple appearances. Are we really supposed to believe that they pulled a drastic 180? Don't get why this matters, because if Charlie did not legally put her in charge via his documents or corporate will, plus they lied about the existence of an authentic video, instead of which she callously walked out to an AI created video to gloriously accept her position, then we'd be looking at the seeds of a motive. Oh yeah, Candace isn't off. Some people might like watch Candace right now and be like, oh, what's going on? She's not really focused on everything. She's not focused on the case. Oh yes, she is. Oh, I'm not showing you. Oh, I'm not showing it to you. Oh my gosh. I'm not showing it to you. Now I'm showing it to you. Good golly. Well, I read it. You know, you saw. Oh gosh, I can't believe I did that. It's all right. You know, pulling a coach. It's not even pulling a Baron anymore. You know, it's pulling a coach. I've beat Baron in this whole thing. You know, I've done this more than Baron now. It's pulling a coach now. And this was October 18th. Can't tell what year it was. Can't really tell what year it was. I would love, Baron would be proud. Yeah, I know he would. Yeah, I know he would. But either way, so this is what Candace had to say. And because she said all this, and I'll just say beyond that, you know, seeds of a motive. So that's where she's going with this whole thing, which is why she's focusing so heavily on the AI video. No, I'm sober. I don't smoke weed. Okay. There's a very serious note here at AV Club. I don't smoke weed at all. I'm completely sober. So get yourself in line. Okay, son? Thanks, son. Anyway, I was like that too when I was 15. I used to think everybody was high if they had allergies. I was like, oh, they're smoking weed like me. They're smoking weed like me. That's why their eyes are red. And then I turned 40 and I was like, oh, there's so many reasons you just get so tired and so eye-redded. There's so many different reasons. Anyway, beyond that, the premise is simply ridiculous. No rational man in the world would say, if I die on the job, leave behind my wife and children. Please install my widowed wife in an 80-hour per week dangerous position I formerly occupied, thereby leaving my children effectively orphaned. 100%. Now, what Candace just said, this doesn't really say anything. Blake did this just to be petty. Just to be petty. That's it. That's the only reason he showed this. He just wanted to be a little petty. You know? Isn't that funny? So, I myself, I don't know. Could Charlie have said this? Maybe. But I feel like Charlie didn't say this. I don't know. That's just me. I feel like Blake is ready to really play dirty in this whole thing. And I feel like he's really willing to start doing stuff like this. They've already started with this AI video type thing. Well, sorry, AI audio. Allegedly, maybe, perhaps, I don't know. They've already kind of doubled down on the fact that it's like, oh, we just don't want to show you the video. We don't have to show you the video. It's like, you could just zoom in on Charlie saying the thing he said. Candace is talking about editing out people. You don't have to do that. Zoom in. You could just zoom in on just Charlie. When Charlie says it, I appoint my wife, Erica. Yeah. But the thing is, I really don't think that there's a video of him saying that. I don't think there's a video of him saying all the things that they showed when Erica walked out, or sorry, that we heard when Erica walked out. I don't think there's a consistent video of him saying all that together. It just doesn't make any sense. I think they cut it up. I think they use a cloning device. I shouldn't say a cloning device. I sound crazy. An AI cloning method. That's what I think they did, honestly. And then somebody threw this in like just out of nowhere. And I was like, hey, man, come on. I'm trying to do a video here. You can't just throw this in while I'm talking about Blake. What's going on with you guys? Stop all this. Be right. Come on. Stop it. Anyway, sorry. Let's move on. Let's move on, guys. So then Candace gets into it over this whole thing. She posts again. She's so sorry. I still can't get over this. Turning Point colluded with the Daily Mail to host a screening of a secret video, Charlie naming Erica as his successor. Why? It's so weird. Why do it with the Daily Mail? Why not do it with like Graham? You've already worked with Gary. Why not do it with Gary and Graham Allen and all those guys? Officer Tatum. Why not just show Officer Tatum the video? Officer Tatum's not going to rat anything out. Like, why don't you show those guys? Like, those guys have bigger audiences. They actually have their audiences trust them way more than the Daily Mail. Like, why not do that? I don't know. If you're going to just use people, like, why not use them? This makes sense. This video is crucial. It was introduced to the public by Erika Kirk as Charlie's dying wish. Her takeover of the company, Erica chose to walk out to Charlie's alleged voice, naming her as the CEO at AmFest, but stopped short of airing the video footage. Donors were present say the audio is AI, and that Charlie never uttered these words at the event in question. So that's very interesting. Now, this gentleman gets involved. Gentleman's involved. His name is Charlie Sparing. I thought it was Sperling. Charlie Sparing. Now, he is the writer that did the story alongside Turning Point and got to actually see this video. Apparently, he has seen this video. He says to Candace, and what she just said, he says, "You're right, Candace. The video is crucial, which is why I asked Turning Point to see it. I approached them in good faith, and they agreed." It's crazy that it was that simple. He was just like, "Can I see the video?" And they're like, Sure. Are you Candace Owens? No, I'm clearly a white guy, and I'm a journalist. Can I see it? Sure, you can see it. What? That easy, huh? Funny how that works. Just as Candace is showing the email that the White House leaked out. Apparently, someone in the White House leaked out to her. Just as she's showing all this, just as she's pushing this whole thing, and how crazy that looks, all of a sudden, all of this activates all at once. Is it a distraction from the Erika Kirk email that was circulating in the White House? Is that what's going on here? I don't know. It's really hard to tell, but they all jumped at it. And of course, Candace Owens is always ready for the smoke. So she was ready. She was like, okay, let's get into it. Let's get into it. You know, she was just like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, whoop, whoop. There it is. Let's go. And that was it. She was ready to go. I approached them in good faith. It's real. And multiple people who were in Aspen that day remember the moment. This is a very odd thing because it's like they remember the moment. I feel like this is pure gaslighting. I really do. Because it's like, oh, they say they remember the moment. Like, this is a pretty big thing. And then you have three people saying, the three people who are good with Turning Point still and are willing to be interviewed by this guy, but then the three people who know John Mappin and actually turned to John Mappin and Candace and said, hey, this didn't happen. Like, how do they have two completely different stories? They were in the same room. Was Candace's side of things just like they were just eating chips and they were just crunching really loud and they were just like, what did he say? What did Charlie say? When is he going to make sure that the data centers get built? He's the guy, right? He's the one. I like my chip. What? They said I could eat whatever. There wasn't enough food. He's just crunching real loud, not listening. Is that what's going on? Perhaps. The video does matter, but it's not the only reason the board voted to appoint Erika. I spoke to several Turning Point donors and close friends of Charlie who revealed that after Butler, there was a very real fear about his safety in the future of the organization. Charlie assured them he would leave Turning Point to Erika and the board to carry on the mission if the worst happened. It's really stupid. It's a really stupid notion, in my opinion. I really do think so. Why would you leave it to Erika? She's older than you. Is it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that to like get at her for like being older than Charlie, like whatever. But it's like, she's older. Why would you do that? I'd be like, if I was his friend, I'd be like, what are you talking about? Well, my wife, she knows the company really well, Colin. She actually knows the company really well. I'd be like, shut up, dummy. We're not doing that. You got to give it to someone younger. What are you talking about? You have to give it to someone who's been a CEO. Are you crazy? I'd be his best friend. I'd be like, hey, moron, you can't leave it to your wife. What are you doing? No, you can't do that. Give her special control, sure. You know, give her say, put her on the board or something. You can't give the company over to your wife. If you get blown away, your wife's going to be shattered. She's not going to be able to run the company. What are you talking about? I'd be like, are you out of your mind? Like, what are you doing? I tell her everything when I get home, Colin. Shut up. Shut your mouth. Pick Mikey. Pick Mike. Look at him. He's beautiful. Look at him. He's majestic, shaking his hips over there. Pick him. You know? Or pick another dude completely. You're friends with JD Vance. Pick JD Vance. How about that? How about that, smart guy? Huh? Anyway. Pick someone else. Not your older than you wife who's only run a clothing company online. Yeah. Dummy. Oh, I'd be that's the kind of friend I am. If we're friends, that's how I'm talking to you. You're making a weird decision. That's how I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you like you're a straight up moron. I got no qualms. That's the kind of thing you get with me. If we're buddies, that's how I'm talking to you when you make a crazy decision. And I expect you to talk the same to me. That's what I expect. Like, come on. Anyway, let's keep going here. So then Blake steps in. Blake's pissed, right? Blake's like, this is the current. I've never seen Blake talk this much. Look, Blake's giving a whole breakdown here. Current situation: a Daily Mail reporter was writing up a controversy over who Charlie wanted to succeed him. His wife, who knew him best, whom he trusted, and whom Turning Point board eagerly supported, or some other person. Hint, Candace obviously thinks it should have been her. No, Candace has never said that. I've said that. I've never even heard anybody else say that. I say that all the time. It's clear she should be the person to run Turning Point, obviously. Like, what are we, stupid here? Obviously, that's the person who should do it. But even if I found this very weird, his wife, who he knew who knew him best, and whom he trusted the most, and whom the Turning Point board eagerly supported. That I find very weird. If the Turning Point board eagerly supported Erica taking over if Charlie passed away, that tells you something. That tells you a little something. We talk about those temperature checks. It's not just eagerly supported if something were to happen, but it's more like eagerly supports her stepping in if he can't fulfill the mission that he's supposed to fulfill. And I don't mean the mission of truth and justice to save America. I mean the mission of data centers. I mean the mission of pushing the agenda of the administration. I mean the mission of saying, hey, Thomas Massie is the worst person for the position. We need to vote that guy out. If he's not willing to fulfill that, then we need someone else to step in who will. Why do all of them know? Why do all of them know Erica so well at the board? I don't know. I just think it's weird. I think it's very weird. But anyway, Blake, sassy Blake, zesty Blake, he ends up saying, of course, no video is actually needed to prove Charlie wanted Erica to succeed him if something happened. Everyone knew Charlie well and spent time around him, knew this was the case, and there was zero suspense going into the board vote. That's funny because they were so excited when it happened. It was almost like they didn't know what the board was going to say. Again, why does the board know her so well and love her so much? Is it because she is a company man like Benny Johnson, like Officer Tatum? Like she's going to do what she's told? I think yes, mainly because Turning Point has already come forward and said that they will not be supporting Thomas Massie. Thomas Massie, who Charlie Kirk said was the best congressman, hands down. He said he's going to go after the intelligence agencies. He loved what Thomas Massie was doing. He absolutely loved it. And now Turning Point is saying, hey, we're not going to be supporting Thomas Massie. Just like they said, hey, Charlie Kirk would have loved the war. Just like they'll be saying soon, Charlie Kirk loved a good data center. Charlie always loved data centers. It was like one of his passions. They're going to keep on doing this, Anyway, let's keep going here just a little bit. I'm kind of getting tired of Blake, quite honestly. Still, click on this. Still, while Turning Point would rather not release private videos in response to insane screaming lunatics, they did show it to the Daily Wire reporter just to confirm that the video exists. For good measure, the reporter also spoke to 3 donors to confirm blah, blah, blah. Candace is now screaming that the video must be AI, which is exactly what he said a month ago would happen. Candace has publicly accused the male of lying about contacting her, so he posted the screen grabs, etc., etc. So Candace actually did admit. She said, hey, she's like, oh, I didn't realize you reached out to me, but this is Charlie. Actually, sorry, it's Charlie. Actually, yeah, his name's Charlie. Sorry. Reached out to Mitchell, which is Candace's PR person, apparently. He says, I know Candace has cited that there are donors who attended at August 2025. This happened August 2025. Wow. They really knew. Wow. They really knew that they were going to take this guy out, huh? August 2025. Someone's like, so you've been saying a lot of things. What happens if you pass away? Who runs the company? Is it another person like you, or is it somebody who's a little more blue and white? Who takes over? My wife, Erica. I appoint my wife, Erica. And she's just waving some blue and white flag. And they're all like, okay. Start the plan. What? Huh? What'd you say? She's just waving the flag. She's like, yeah, start the plan. Start the plan. Start the plan immediately. Huh? What? No, I didn't say start the plan. Huh? Are you okay, Charlie? Let's all get some bacon wrapped shrimp. Huh? Let's get some bacon wrapped shrimp, huh? Everybody likes those, right? Let's get some bacon wrapped scallops, ladies and gentlemen. We have our new CEO. Charlie's like, what? What the fuck? What are you guys talking about? You guys okay? Erica's already standing up. She's already like, thank you guys. Thank you so much. It's going to be wonderful running this company. Charlie's like, hold on a second. What's happening right now? Hold on. Oh, man. I'm kidding. Come on, guys. That didn't happen. He said he appointed Erica, and they all stood up and they went, huzzah! And Erica was like, I couldn't possibly. No, not me. And he said, please, honey, I want you to be president of the United States of America one day. This is the first step, my dear. And he kissed her upon the forehead and said, if I demise, please step up and step out, my brave, brave lady. That's what he said. Everybody knows that. I side with Blake. I know Candace Owens has cited 3 donors who attended in 2025 Turning Point Donor Retreat in Aspen who say they have no recollection of the moment Charlie Kirk allegedly said he would have Erica take over the organization. Would any of them be willing to talk to the Daily Mail about their recollection? So they went on with the story without getting in contact with these people, which is what you do, honestly. As a journalist, you will do that. So Candace did say this, and then Charlie did say, Charlie, I'll say the Daily Mail reporter. I'll say that because when I say Charlie, it gets too confusing. Charlie did also show, hey, this really did happen. I really did reach out to you. And Candace did say, I stand corrected. She actually did say that. She was like, I stand corrected. She's like, I did not realize that you reached out to me. I have not heard about it. So there's that. So we might have the Daily Mail get in contact with those people. John Mappin here was the one that told Candace about these people. And this is what he had to say to the Daily Mail reporter. I hope you are well. I have spoken to a donor who was at the event in Aspen, and they have no recollection at all of what you have reported. I spoke to them again today in light of your article, and they reiterated this once more. They are quite certain. So they also said that afterwards, following the main filmed Aspen meeting that you reported on, there was a smaller private meeting with Charlie on the subject was raised, and the subject was raised again, and there was no mention of the version that you present. I knew Charlie Kirk well, and I know Candace well. This point of truth matters. It will affect Turning Point going forward and conservative politics more broadly. It can affect the presidency and future presidency. The logical and rational thing to do is to simply release the raw footage publicly with any donors who do not wish to be seen blacked out, and if truly necessary, their voices altered if they are keen to retain privacy. I don't think that's ever going to happen now. Now that they've doubled down on this story the way that they have, I don't see there being any place where they say, okay, we're going to come out with it. I don't see it happening now. I just don't see it. I don't think they're going to do it because now there's a reporter involved. But I mean, Turning Point has stuck their foot in their mouths multiple times. So maybe they'll just be like, fine, we'll come out with it. And it'll be something that's clearly AI, who knows, or it will be the real thing. I think AI, but we'll see. We'll analyze it if it does ever come out. You have stated that Turning Point cameras were rolling as others have. No one would be more pleased to see what you are saying is true than Candace and ourselves and all those who love Charlie and his family. No one wanted. Let's go through this. Are the donors that you talk to willing to talk or what? We do have to focus on that. Such consequences. Oh, this guy wrote a thesis right now. Oh my gosh, more? Buddy, good Lord. My dear mother, 88, is a great fan of the Daily Mail. Oh, this guy's going into his life story. Easy there, Mr. Mappin. Wow. This guy's giving us the whole, what do those Scientologists say? The diuretics or whatever it is? Giving us the whole breakdown, everything he's ever done. Is now 43 since public request is more available. So he doesn't say anything about these donors being willing to actually talk about this. That would be the key thing. Those donors should talk with the Daily Mail and say, hey, what you're reporting doesn't make any sense. That's what needs to happen. You need to replace Joe Rogan with Dave Chappelle. That's actually I've joked about a lot of replacements for that picture. Dave Chappelle would be a pretty good one. If I could get a good black and white picture of Dave Chappelle and I could get some color splashed on it, you know, because my colors are like my colors are like this. I like colors like this, right? Let me put these back on. Request for coffee link. I did put the coffee link. I pinned it. My wife messaged. I like colors like this. Like I got this from Buc-ee's. You see it? It's crazy. It's Texas. It's amazing. I love it. I like colors like this. And I paint. When I paint stuff like this. If I can find a black and white picture of Dave Chappelle that incorporated these colors into it, but kept Dave Chappelle black and white, I would 100% put that up. 100%. Yeah, bright neon. Bright neon's my stuff. Like outside of here, I wear bright neon hats. I got bright neon shoes. Like I love bright neon. Love it. That's interesting. That's it. I might do that. We just might do that. Good idea. Whoever said that. Who said that? Let me see here. Olivia. Great idea, Olivia. I might just do that. Anyway, Baron Coleman said in this exact same Daily Mail, this is the exact same Daily Mail that Erika said she attended the White House Correspondents' Dinner in order to confront for saying bad things they had allegedly said about her. It's very true. I guess they put all that behind them. I guess. I don't know. But that's the whole thing. They very much activated when all this happened. Oh, and this is the part where she said I stood corrected. So Candace did admit that she was wrong about that particular thing because she was like, why didn't you guys reach out to me? She's like, I stand corrected. This email was never forwarded to me, so I was unaware you sent it. If you would still like to hear from the donors and Turning Point employees who have no recollection of this, please reach out. This deeply matters. It makes no rational sense why they are refusing to release the video. And the excuse they have given you is utter BS. If they could cut the donor out of the audio, they could just as easily cut them out of the video. I'm telling you, you don't even have to do that. You just zoom in. You zoom in on Charlie. That's it. You zoom in on Charlie. That's all you got to do. So Candace was willing to admit, like, hey, okay, didn't realize he sent this to me. Hopefully they actually do this whole thing. Yeah, the diuretic. Isn't it called the diuretic? Isn't that what they do? They do like a diuretic. They sit down and, you know, the dialectics. What is it called? The diuretic, the dialectics, right? Mama, what them boys in those science-based thing, the big building they do with the L-Ron? What they do? They do the diuretics, baby. They do the diuretics. They do it's called dialectics. Dialectics, mama. Is diuretics. Either way, it's all coming out of you, baby. Oh, you right, mama. You right. Anyway. Let's switch a little bit. Not even really. This is just to show Turning Point. Again, turning it up. Like they're going hard. Candace brings up, and you always have to watch for when this happens. Candace will talk about something and there will be a crazy reaction to it. So she's talked about this email that was leaked from the White House. Now we have Blake going in as hard as possible. Andrew Colvett as well. They're sitting down with Graham Allen, of all people to be doing this with. They're sitting down with Graham Allen. They're making sure that the Daily Mail is putting out articles. They're showing this video to the Daily Mail, getting these donors to actually speak about the fact that it's completely real. All these people are anonymous. The video won't be shown to anybody. They're going hard out of nowhere. Really hard. Listen to this.
Yesterday, she did have an allegation. I checked out your show this morning. You went straight for it. She was saying that at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, that we were, I guess, complicit or coordinating with some like amplification campaign.
Stage the whole thing.
Yeah. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, the thing I went after the most is anytime Candace has any kind of evidence of any kind, all watermarks are removed, all email names are removed. And what I love the most is of everyone who was at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and this is no disrespect to you or Erika Kirk in any way, but you guys were plotting and controlling the whole event, according to Candace Owens. So you've got the president there, the vice president, secretary of state, secretary of war, the whole line of succession for the presidency. But it was you guys who were running and pulling the strings to hoax this entire thing. And what I love more than anything else was Candace going on this, because this is what she does. She says something, people listen. Not very smart people listen, but people do listen. And then where's the evidence? Oh, well, the evidence, something happened and now we don't have it. But what I'll do is I will retype the most pertinent information. So the screenshot that she put up there about this whole conspiracy to boost Erica's, as she calls it, the I want to go home video.
The person that they bring on to talk about this, by the way, nightmare blunt rotation. You know what I mean? Just the most nightmarish blunt rotation ever. So the guy that they choose to bring on is literally a guy who is currently, as far as I can see, because if he's not, well, then you need to get rid of your profile. But he has a profile where it states that he is an employee of the DOD. So the people that Turning Point decide to sit down with to talk about Candace happens to also be an employee, allegedly, it seems, of the DOD. I mean, it's just crazy. It's getting so ridiculous the way that they're operating. So ridiculous. So far from what Charlie... Here's the thing. It's so far from what Charlie was about that it makes you think that they are involved. That's why so many people think they're involved, because it looks so crazy. It's like everything they're doing is turning against what Charlie said he wanted to do. Every single thing. It's so wild to me. And they just keep on doing it, and they keep on doing it. It's just nonstop. Every single turn, whether it's Thomas Massie or it's just the war in Iran, every single thing. They just keep saying, well, I spoke to Charlie every day, so actually I get to say what he would say. Thank you. He loved the war. He loved the war, and he loved regime change. He always did. He always did. Yes, he did. He loved people killing kids. He loved it. He talked about it all the time. Yes, he did. That whole thing with the school that blew up, Charlie would have loved that. I mean, you guys have no idea. I mean, he loved that type of thing. When a school would blow up, that was Charlie's thing, man. You talk about it all the time. It's so crazy. Thomas Massie, he hated Thomas Massie. There's a clip of Charlie being like, Thomas Massie is the best, absolutely best congressman we have. And they're like, yeah, but Charlie's stupid. I'm telling you what Charlie's saying today. And it's like, what? It's just time and time again, man. Anyway. And then you have Elizabeth Lane. She goes in on Blake, but it's too many paragraphs. Like, well, it's just too many. It's too many. She says she doesn't like Blake. Of course, she didn't come to you in dreams. And it's too many. I'm not doing another paragraph. Look at this. All these people. Where do they? I don't even have this many. How do they get so many characters? I never get this many characters when I write something. I pay for it. I got a check mark and stuff. What's going on? I never get to write dissertations like this. Anyway, not that I would anyway. Wouldn't put you guys through that. I'm a considerate person, Anyway, let's keep going here. Let's check this out. What do we have here? I'm trying to find that Charlie Kirk clip. I'm not making it up. I didn't lie,
My favorite members of Congress. He loves the Constitution. He loves liberty. He's honest and he's tough, and he's going to really go after the intel agencies. It's Thomas Massie, who's just terrific, from Kentucky. My favorite members of Congress. He loves the Constitution. He loves liberty. He's honest and he's tough, and he's going to really go after the intel agencies. It's Thomas Massie, who's just terrific from Kentucky.
Well, there you go. It's only a matter of time before Turning Point deletes that. You figure out what podcast that's from. That's going to be gone soon. They're going to get rid of that. They're going to be like, we don't need this anymore. We don't need this anymore. Just in case you didn't know, Thomas Massie is being, I think it's $25 million that they've put into unseating Thomas Massie from Kentucky. They're putting this gentleman in his place. Another one of those blue and white Zio Rangers. His name's Ed Gallery. Is it Gallery? I want to say Gallagher, but I think it's Gallery. This was him refusing to debate Thomas Massie, which he has. He's absolutely refused to be in the same room with him and debate him. But he is willing to be in a room and push whatever agenda he possibly can. This is him doing that.
He took the press out of the middle and talked right to the people. What did President Trump do? What did Gallagher do? I'm going to talk right to you. I ain't scared of nothing. You think I lack for courage? In fact, they had to hog tie me from taking that bull on. So there ain't no money in it. The New York Times is going to show up, and all they're going to print is, if you like your doctor, you can keep it. Whatever they say, they're going to call it the gospel, and you ain't going to hear another word about it. So as you might guess, I'm not shy enough about courage about nothing, in terms of that.
But you haven't debated him.
I'm debating him right now.
No, you're not.
I'm glad
you're not debating him.
I'm not.
You're giving a bunch of platitudes. You're not explaining anything. You've not gone toe-to-toe with the congressman. You're not explaining your differences. You're not doing anything. You're not explaining any differences.
I just laid it all out, young man.
It made no sense. It made no sense. Yeah. Yeah, like a civil conversation is the congressman and him debating, not him pulling up signs and a Letterman's jacket. That's not an answer.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. Some real people actually stepped in and decided to actually ask the questions, and this is what happens. Oh, somebody, yeah. You're saying Ed actually does not like the president. Make it make sense. Because they both have a special love for the blue and white, not the red, just the blue and white. They love the blue and white, both of them. They both love Philadelphia, so that's why it makes sense. Actually, that's what's going on here. Now that I'm starting to learn about how, we'll just say the blue and white again, or how Philadelphia, it's not just presidents that give money. Did you know that? It's like cities too. You know that? That's weird. Whatever city you're in, look into it. See if there's any money set aside for that country. It's very weird. There's a lot of cities that give money. A lot. This is aside from what the president will give. I had no idea. It's crazy. That's diabolical. It happened in Texas, where one city was like, we're not giving any more money because that's crazy. We're not doing that anymore. Greg Abbott actually said, if you don't give any money, then we're going to stop giving you money, period. Isn't that crazy? I'm not making that up. That's a real thing that happened. I'm just saying. It's weird. Very weird. Yeah, giving away taxpayer money, a lot of it. More than we think. Way more than we think. Anyway. Let's get into these coffees. What else do I have here? I had some other things. I don't know if I want to play this much Ben Shapiro. There's like a whole thing with Ben Shapiro I could play. Because Ben Shapiro is like, his last video, he was like crashing out. Like he was going nuts. It was like he was going crazy. He was just calling people out, and it's basically like as if the ship is sinking. It's like Ben Shapiro. It's like the Daily Wire has a Samson agreement itself. It's like they have a Samson agreement, and they're like, if we're going down, you're all going down. If you don't know what that is, go look into it. Let's jump into some coffees or something. We got We got some coffees, perhaps. Check it out. The thing about the coffees, it doesn't tell you the time. We got the coffees and we got the super chats. I should check. We should check this out. We should be checking out super chats a little bit. Let me do that really quick, because I don't really want to play the Ben Shapiro thing. Here, I'll play a little bit of it. But he's a very annoying little guy. Here, I'll play a little bit of it.
See, here's the thing. There's no national media coverage. If a top Candace Owens producer and her manager quit, or if Megyn Kelly's YouTube account starts shedding tens of thousands of subscribers a month, or if Tucker Carlson's traffic is disproportionately drawn from Pakistan. We all have our fan base. Those are all things that actually happen, by the way, but nobody really cares very much because, yeah, those people have significant audience numbers, but they don't have any real institutional influence. See, here's the thing. There's no national.
He starts talking about how the Daily Wire has like this international influence, and it's like he's talking about it like it's this crazy institution, and it's just so many leagues above Candace and Tucker and Megyn. It was such a ridiculous rant. It was so crazy. I was just like, this is all happening because they don't support that country and you do? Like, that's why you're doing this? Like, it's so nuts to me that he's willing to do that. I don't know. Anyway, Ben Shapiro, friend of the show, ladies and gentlemen. He puts targeted ads on my show. So obviously, yeah, he's doing something right. Anyway, Gio, hi coach, just wanted to say we've missed you so much. That is hilarious. Ha 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 ha. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. I miss you guys too. Man, it was crazy not doing it for felt like what, 4 days or something like that. It was very odd not walking into the studio, but I was coughing stuff up and just trying to get better, and man, and I'm pretty good. Like I said, I ran 2 miles at 7 a.m. Woke up at 7 a.m., ran 2 miles, came back, got the show ready, did my thing, So getting better, getting way better. Energy's up. I'm going to work out after this, so we'll see how I feel after that, but definitely got to get to sleep early. That's the key thing, is sleep. Oregano oil for your cough kills viruses. Yeah, I've been taking it. I took it right before I came up here, actually. I made sure to take, I've been taking oregano oil, black seed oil, glutathione, NAC. I've been taking zinc, of course, vitamin C, of course. What else? I think I even took a parasite cleanse. Then there's this elderberry serum or syrup I've been taking, and then also this ginger syrup that I've been taking as well. A lot of green tea, honey, local honey. So I've been getting at it. Feels pretty good. The cough is getting better. There used to be a lot more coming out with the cough, and now it just sounds terrible. Whoop, whoop. Hey there, coach. She said yes. Oh, wow. Thanks for the prayers. That's amazing. If you guys don't remember, the last live we did, Capcon said he was going to propose to this lady that he loves. And she has said yes. That's incredible, man. Thank you so much. Congratulations to both of you. Congratulations. Wish you very many years. Many married years. Many married years to you. And I think Ruth, you said her name was? I think you said that. Thank you so much for letting us know. That's incredible. There you go. I remember when I proposed. Man, it's a nerve-wracking thing. It's weird because they're going to say yes for the most part. Still nervous. That's wild. Good for you, man. Good for you. Now do right by her. Got to do right by her. Make sure you become a good husband. You got to become a very, very good husband. That's how it works. All right. Amazing. Good for you, man. John D. The elites have never been successful because they always held the true power. We all have always held the true power. For the first time in history, the modern tech may have a monopoly of power, psychological and physical. Yeah, possibly. But I mean, in creating what they've created and bringing so much connectivity, yes, it is a good it's a good way to shape public opinion because you can shape it all at once and you can shape it worldwide. But it also makes it so we can all talk and we can all get a gist of what's actually going on in the world. So every time they come up with something to help themselves, it also helps us at the same time. And I've said it before years ago on the podcast because of something Eddie Bravo said, but you know, in regards to like the Great Reset, you ever heard of that? Klaus Schwab, there will be a great reset. You know, own nothing, be happy, all that stuff. When there's a great reset coming, you know, bad, there's always a great awakening that comes along with it. And you can't have one without the other. There is no great awakening in us unless someone comes along and is like, there's going to be a great reset and we're going to have you guys eat bugs. And, you know, it all helps push us along, right? Like a lot of the interviews that I do, we talk about, oh, when was the moment that you, like Lionel kept asking me, what was that moment where you realized things were going on? Everybody has their different moment of when they realize. Like Candace is going through a realization. She helped the president get in office. She made sure to do a long breakdown of how fake the other candidate was, Kamala. And now she's in this realization of like, wow, I shouldn't have done that. Tucker's having the same thing. Everybody keeps having these awakenings. And it's only because of the bad things they see going on. So they can keep trying, but we're going to keep waking up. Who is this? Liam Momberg? What's your name? I know housing, papi. Nunca. I data center, papi. I can't even laugh. I know data center. My friend. I know house. No. Nunca. I data center, man. I data center. It's just a house, you know. Let me keep going here. Did I miss one? No. Coach, please try some Mucilex. Is that what that says? Mucinex? Mucinex, 1,200 milligrams every 12 hours. Ibuprofen, 800 milligrams every 8 hours. It'll patch you right up. No combo pills. Add, what is that? Pseudocetin if nasal nest is plugged up. Interesting. I don't know what that is. All right. That's what I should try. All right. I'm way too open to just trying things. People say things, I'm just like, okay. All right. Somebody's like, oh, you should take it. And I just go, thank you. What was this? That's what I do. This is too much. I got to look into those things first. You are back. Crisis King. Hit the like. Siempre. Miss Chris Viz. What's going on? Where's your channel, Miss Chris Viz? I know that you have a channel out there. You're supposed to be making one. We want to know when it happens. Cassie's Perth. Is that Casey Perth? Aussie bucks are not worth much. Maybe half a cup of coffee. Just to say, good to see ya. Go live. Congrats on the new baby. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Really appreciate you. Super Smarty. Hey, Coach, did you watch Tucker's interview with Owen Benjamin? No, I haven't got a chance to watch it yet. He was the first man banned from everywhere. I know. I didn't like him before. I'm starting to like him a little more now. I don't know. He had this thing, like he would do these live streams and he'd have like an N-word horn where he'd like say it and like squeeze a horn. I was like, this is like clearly this is not for me. I'm like, this is crazy, you know? And also this guy used to talk so poorly of him. You know what the story is with Owen, right? Rogan says, okay, so he used to mention who it was. Okay, then Owen started really going off on Rogan. So he stopped mentioning Owen's name. But Rogan actually says that Joey Diaz gave Owen an absurd amount of edibles, like an absurd amount. And Rogan would claim that from that huge dose of edibles, that Owen lost his mind. Isn't that something? And now when I hear that story, I'm like, oh, was that just like a thing they put out there just to make Owen seem crazy? Because it worked on me. Because I've been somebody who's taken a lot of edibles before, and I'm like, oh, I could see how someone could lose their mind completely. But that was the story that Rogan used to say a lot, that Owen lost his mind from taking too many edibles. That was a real thing. But again, he stopped naming Owen. There was like maybe 2 times he mentioned Owen's name. And after that, he stopped mentioning Owen because Owen started going real hard and like really was calling him out hard. Sarah Cryer, I'm laughing and gagging to the phlegm sounds. Dude, what can you do? What can you do? They'll be gone soon. Enjoy them while they're here. Would love to see you and Dee Dee talk about the Hollywood thing, music industry, maybe even the Charlie Kirk case. You both have great minds. Yeah, I've seen some videos that he's done on the Hollywood thing. Even when he talked about this dude recently, Chud the Builder, and he was like, builder. He's like, that's another word for Mason. And he was talking about like why it's like this weird setup thing. And I'm like, oh, I was thinking the exact same thing. So I would love to talk to him about the Hollywood stuff. That'd be very interesting. I've seen the videos. I haven't got to watch them, but I've seen that he's done videos about the Hollywood stuff and the music industry stuff. So I would love to know what he has learned about that. Compare notes. That'd be really cool, actually. That's a good idea. I was wondering what we're going to talk about. Tanya has become a member. Thank you so much, Tanya. Appreciate you. Dee Dee in town. Put Theo Vaughn's face over Joe's. Also feel better. Theo Vaughn. That's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. Chappelle or Theo Vaughn? What do you guys think? I think Chappelle. I think it would be Chappelle. You know, Theo Vaughn's getting to his Chappelle moment, though. That's for sure. You know, watermelons are delicious. Movie recommendation: Shooter, combined with Snake Eyes, and it's pretty interesting. Combine the 2 movies. What are you talking about? Put them both together. Take the messaging from both. I've never even heard of that other movie, Shooter. I've seen the Snake Eyes thing. I've seen the comparisons. Funky Monkey. Did Scott Stapp fail temperature check, then switch? I'd have to see that name. Scott. No, I don't want to. I want to still see the chat here. Scott. Let me see. I have to see the name. I think I know who you're talking about. Let me see. Let me see his face. I don't know. Oh, no, I don't know this guy. Is he dead? Hold on. Let me check here. Is this guy gone? No, he's still alive. Wait. Born. Yeah, so he's alive. I don't know. I'd have to learn the story about him. I've never seen the story about Scott. I have no idea. Britton Foster, Mike Schultz, UT rep, House lead, bought 640 acres at large Utah data center, January 2025 for $10 plus valuable consideration. That's amazing. 10,000. You're saying he bought by the large data center. He probably, what I'm thinking is he bought the land, some of the land where the data center would go. Is that what you're saying? Because then that would be a big buy, guys. And that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about when we're selling this real estate. You really want to get in on the ground floor before the actual data and center is in the ground, sucking up the water. You want to get in with the land. You want to buy that land up, ladies and gentlemen, before it completely sucks the surrounding areas dry of that fine, delicious resource. Before it strips the H from the 2O, you want to be there first. That's what I'm trying to teach you guys as a real estate coach. Yeah, that's interesting. Mike Schultz. Let me type that in real quick. Mike Schultz bought 620 acres of land, Utah. I wonder how many of these guys have done stuff like that, you know? Someone says 2,500 acres. Mike Schultz apparently approximately 640 land in box acquired through company Mike Schultz Inc. The deed to the land was recorded January 3rd after he committed to the purchase in October 2024. Public records show. Interesting. Huh. How did he know to do that? Well, you know what, guys? He probably bought my real estate course. I don't know. How did he know to do that? How long have they been talking about doing that? I guess for a while. That's a pretty big project to kind of squeeze through last minute. Probably been talking about that for years. Jax loves Rich. I can create this for you. I'd love to send you one. Send me what? Oh, the picture? What size canvas would you like for the Dave Chappelle art? Also, do you have a P.O. box or shipping address? I don't know what this is. I don't know. I'll put my hand to it. Does that tell you? It's 3 of my hands up, and it's 1, 2. It's 4 of my hands across. Is that good? I don't know. I don't know what canvas it is. I can check. I don't know what canvas any of this stuff is, but these are pretty. They're pretty big. Kind of. I would get a big one. Honestly, I would get one. I would get a big one. I don't even know. I don't know. I would do a big one. You know, that'd be a great picture to have if you can do that. And yeah, I mean, if you can do it, don't worry. I'll show you where to send it. 100%. That'd be great. Scary Larry. Will I be needing my tinfoil Speedo today? For that beginning part, talk about temperature checks. I think you should have had one on. If you didn't, you got wet. It's all good. It's all good. Ben Shapiro rides again on his tiny horse called Envy. That's what the horse is called. That's funny. Envy. Get back to work, Envy. Get back to work. Sting, FYI, fully endorse Lionel's comments about you. Your authenticity and sense of humor are absolutely your strengths. Don't forget that. Sincere congratulations to the fam on the new baby. And thank you so much for the daily laughs. Much love, bro. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. I will not forget the comedy. You know, for a long time, when I first started the podcast, I tried to move away from the comedy and I was like, oh, I'm going to like report in journalism. And then like 2 years in, I was like, man, I really like doing the comedy. And now I'm like, I'm fully like, this is a comedy. Like when I put it in a category, I put it into a comedy. I don't put it into news. It's comedy. I love it. It's a harder category to be in. I mean, there's so many people doing crazy things in the category, but I love it. I absolutely love it. It's the main thing, making people laugh. 1202 Awakening started a little late, but thanks for bringing a little levity to the data center issue during your opening riff. The $1 billion coffee made me literally burst out laughing. Yeah, that is literally one that I'm going to do on stage, because that's like, it's not 5 minutes. It's like 10 minutes. I'm going to do that on stage. I'm going to tweak that and I'm going to do that one on stage. That's one that has to go on stage. And I should actually write that down. On stage, data center, the data center bit. That's actually a good bit. Good bit. That'd be really good on stage, because people are starting to learn what that is, you know? They're starting to understand what data centers are. Humor destroys all lies. Thank you very much. I think it does, or at least brings them to the surface, you know? Boise Jet Guy, imagine morale grandstanding about what's allowed to be shared on the internet after realizing certain photos of a female you disagree with. Okay, Gary. Yeah, I remember he showed those images, I think, of Brandy from Billy and Brandy. I was like, wow, why would you do that? I'm glad I didn't see them. It's ridiculous. Please boot Marina for spamming. All right. What a request that is. It's Big Goy Beloy, though. Good. Big Goy Beloy. I mean, hard to argue with Big Goy. You know? Is this it? Should I just do it? I don't know if I should just do it just because you're just like, someone said, get her out of here. Why? What is she doing? I can see her. Unless there's two of them. Oh, okay. Someone's saying to get rid of her. All right. There you go. It's gone. There you go. I don't know what she did. I have no idea. No idea. Anyway. Whew. All right. Let me just see here. What do we got in terms of coffees? Of course. Let's do the coffees, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go down here. Let's make sure. Support. There we go. Bang. Philip says, why do people say Erika is vegetarian? I heard she fly around the world for beaver burger. What? What? I don't know if that's innuendo or not for beaver burger. I mean, I've heard the rumors about her and beaver burgers, but I mean, I don't know. Has she actually done that? I don't know. I have no idea. She's definitely not a vegetarian. Definitely not. 100%. What you think about Project Constitution's vid about Erika Kirk fake pregnancy / bull junk ultrasound? Beijing Benny really act like he's Philadelphia's big cream cheese. Meanwhile, that boy munching on BB's Frumunda. Frumunda? What is a Frumunda? Is that like a fupa? Is that like a male version of a fupa? I have not seen the whole fake pregnancy thing. I don't know about those. You know, I'll have to talk to Project Constitution and see what he actually found, because there's some things he finds where people will tell him he's wrong, and then he'll like go over it. Like there was a relation not between Nick Shirley and Tyler Robinson. There was another relation between, I think it was like Tyler Boyer and Erika. And it was like they're related to people who are related by blood, but they themselves are not related by blood. And I went and fact checked what he was talking about. And I'm like, oh, this actually seems real, man. Like this is legit. And so many people were like, he's completely lying or he's not telling the truth. But it seemed like it was legit to me from what I researched. So I don't know. I have to actually talk to him directly and see what's up with it. But I don't know, like the whole thing about like the kids not being hers and stuff like that. You know, actually, you get into this a little bit. There is a whole community. You guys might not know this. In the hip hop community, there are people who bravely wear their tinfoil Speedos, and they will tell you up and down that Cardi B, Beyonce, any like R&B, hip hop, female, they have images, many images of them sitting down while pregnant, and like the belly does like weird things, like it like goes like a cushion. Some of them slip, and their theory is that when these people in these powerful positions say that they're pregnant, they're not actually pregnant, or they're hiding the fact that they're using a surrogate. So they use something called a moon bump. It's like a thing you put on. It's very, very weird. There's a whole community of it. So when I hear this about Erika, I go, oh, like it's within that same vein of things. I've heard about stuff like this for years, and it's hard to really prove because they're just slowing down images and saying, hey, look at this and look here. But I know Wendy Williams called it out on Beyonce, and then Wendy Williams went crazy, right? Next thing you know, she's locked in a hotel room getting interviewed by TMZ. Okay, you know. So who knows? Who knows? In a bull junk ultrasound. I'll have to look into it. But yeah, Benny. Oh yeah, you know what? Should we play the Benny getting called out? If I have the Benny getting called out video, I think we should play that. I don't know if this guy swears or not. This guy Bobby Sauce, but he really called out Benny Johnson. Because Benny Johnson had some really vile things to say about Thomas Massie.
It's always the dirtiest, filthiest pigs that squeal the loudest, and Thomas Massie is a pig.
Of course, if it's not the queen of the political grift herself, Benny Johnson. You better bring some heat if you're going to come in that hot, brother. Take it away.
Who's been squealing, calling President Trump's administration the Epstein administration, constantly banging on about the Congressional Slush Fund. You know who also did this? Eric Swalwell.
Ah, yes, of course, Eric Swalwell, who had a laundry list of claims as well as verifiable video evidence and dropped out of the race in disgrace. And you're going to compare that to one woman making an unsubstantiated accusation against Thomas Massie. You're going to put them into the same category. All right.
Oh, victims, victims, victims. Oh, these poor women. Meanwhile, Eric Swalwell straight up drugging and choking in his hotel rooms, has like a staffer list as long as my arm of staffers that say that he committed sexual assault. It's like 50 different charges against him. Had to drop out of politics, drop out of the governor's race.
Right. And the one unsubstantiated claim of Thomas Massie that's been out for not even 24 hours accuses him of none of those things. None of those things. Not even anything even remotely close to any of those things. Go on. No claims of physical abuse, drugs, documented evidence, nothing. And the story is still unfolding. But you still come out here and call him a pig. Keep it going.
GOP lawmakers demand release of congressional slush fund list. Okay, cool. I agree with that, by the way. Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene are the ones who led this.
Oh, so you agree with Thomas Massie and MTG for pushing that slush fund to be released. Interesting. Oh, you know, like standing up for victims, like exposing people that do this type of stuff. Cool.
Marjorie Taylor Greene resigned from Congress and fled America, now lives in a $5 million Costa Rica mansion.
Bro, this dude is the queen of posting fake news, AI slop, propaganda, and is...
Someone says, stop doing the friend of the show thing. It's Tim Dillon's. No, it's actually Joe Rogan's. Joe Rogan has always been like friend of the show, the great and powerful, and then he'll say so-and-so. Joe Rogan's been doing that for a decade now. So get your facts straight. Get your facts straight. Someone who also did it, kind of in the same generation as Joe Rogan, Johnny Carson, ladies and gentlemen. Johnny Carson, if you can even date back to when his show started, kind of get your facts straight there, big guy. Anyway, and who is this? Who is this that said this? Eskimo Black, friend of the show. Anyway, let's keep going.
Is the princess of the political grift to degrees I never even imagined possible. MTG sold her house in Georgia because she recently got engaged. Very interesting. And because she's on vacation in Costa Rica, liars like this dude, political grifters, literal propaganda operatives like Benny Johnson just make this claim as if it's true because Larry Loomer is talking about it. A claim which MTG herself has denied. Says that her and Brian Glenn are looking for a new house in her same district.
Very America First of her, by the way.
Bro, you are the least America First person.
This guy is very intense. But basically, Benny Johnson called out Thomas Massie for something that happened. No, you know, I should just say this. He basically is saying about Thomas Massie exactly what he's told to say. I've said it 100 times. I said it in this episode even. He's a company man. So when it's Thomas Massie bad, it's Thomas Massie bad. That's it. If he gets it from up top, he'll just say it. If it's Marjorie Taylor Greene is bad, then Marjorie Taylor Greene's bad. That's it. Like, it's just the way it goes. That's how it's always going to be with him. Every single step of the way. He's never going to divert from what the administration wants. Never. You're not going to see it. Not from him. It's just not a thing that he does. So I can understand it completely. He's coming after Thomas Massie because right now there is a $25 million push to unseat Thomas Massie from the position that he's in right now and put in that Ed Gallagher gallery, whatever his name is, guy. So I get it, but it's kind of vile what he was doing, you know, calling him a pig and all this weird stuff. Like, you don't really have to do that, you know, especially because you could probably go back in Benny Johnson's video catalog and you could probably find him saying really nice things about Thomas Massie. You know, it's like, I don't know. That's Benny. That's Benny. That's how he is. Friend of the show. That's Tim Dillon's. That's Tim Dillon's. Bro, how long you been watching TV? You ever watched the TV, bro? What are you talking about? I had to pull out Johnny Carson on this guy. This guy doesn't know who Johnny Carson is. Has no idea who Johnny Carson is. He's like, Johnny who? I don't know. What's his YouTube channel? What? What are you, 17 years old, bro? Come on, man. Tim Dillon was the first one to say friend of the show. You can't say it. What? Candace said it last week. What are you talking about? Anyway, people are funny like that. Look at Mike Riley. You sent me on a rabbit hole. You sent me down a rabbit hole, Mike Riley. Shout out to you. I hope your baby's doing okay, man. Hope the baby's doing just good. Just great, I should say. Philip, Gayham Allman. Or are you talking about Graham? Graham, that's the name you came up with? Gayham Allman. So Donald Trump, you know? So Donald Trump to come up with a nickname like that. Have more diarrhea than a lactose intolerance. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. I as someone who's lactose intolerant, I know exactly what you're saying. That's a lot. That is a lot. Hey coach, after rewatching videos of that day, I think Mike and Blake knew beforehand and Andrew found out after. Mikey telling Candace that Andrew Colvette should be investigated was to throw her off himself. Huh. Rewatching which video? Oh, the footage. Rewatching the footage. Okay. Interesting. Well, I mean, the way Mikey walks off, I mean, he walked away for our sins, you know, but it was devious the way he walked off. Because, you know, everybody was like, oh, you're just plugging his ears. It was like, he's clearly like, you plug one ear. When things are going crazy around you, you plug one ear, put your phone to your ear so you can hear the person clearly. But he right away had his phone to his ear, like right away. That's what was going on. Looked devious. The way Blake left looked devious. And again, when Blake was asked about it, Blake was just like, oh, it's not my job. He's like, he has security. That's what the security's job is. Not my job to get in the way. I couldn't help myself. If something like that happened to someone I knew, that I was friends with, that gave me a job and an opportunity after I got fired from Tucker Carlson's show because I was saying vile things on the internet via a burner account, this guy gives me another chance. There's no way I couldn't run up and say, tell me to do something. Even if you tell me to get away, just tell me to do something. I have to do something. But he just kind of scurried away. It was really weird. They both scurried away like rats. They really did. They really, really did. You know? And Butch Hibbs, what's his name? Butch Hibbs, Jack Hibbs or whatever, the guy with the gray beard. He was just like, this guy was just filming. Didn't even flinch. It's crazy. Another guy who was like, he was actually interviewed by the Utah news outlet. He was just standing there. He's like, started picking things up. Stayed afterwards. Oh yeah. Yeah. There's some devious dudes out there right after. Real devious. Brandy J, hey coach. Okay, we already read that one. Thank you so much for that. Correctish English. Coach, it's interesting that Joe says those things are bad, but advocates for ibogaine, which shuts off a person's feeling of guilt and shame. Sounds like a Manchurian. Interesting. I never thought of it like that. I've never done it. I've never done it myself. That's like the one that I haven't done. Because 24 hours is a crazy time to be vomiting and, to be shooting out of both ends. 24 hours is a lot of time to be shooting out of both ends. You know what I mean? So I've never done it. Also, mullein, a herb, is a great... Oh, somebody just suggested that I drink this tea. Mullein tea? I'll check it out. I'll definitely check it out. Or maybe it was you. But somebody last week said I should do it. Yeah, that is an interesting kind of thing. But, at least Joe's been consistent on that. But, yeah, I never thought of it how he's talking about advocating for someone shutting off their guilt and shame. That's interesting. That's very interesting. If he suggests it to Theo, then we really got something going on. Oh, man. Did he suggest it to Theo? Wait a second. A doctor that specializes in getting people off. Whoa, that's interesting. Hold on a second. Let me just see. The doctor that helps people get off SSRIs. I wonder what comes up. Let me just write How do you spell ibogaine? You wrote it here. Let me see something. Let me see a little something here. You wrote ibogaine. Literally the easiest thing to spell. I had to check. Let me see something. I wonder. Dr. Omar Caleron. Interesting. I wonder if that's the doctor he was talking about. That'd be pretty wild if that was the doctor he's talking about. I found a doctor. There is a doctor that does exactly what you're saying. Exactly what you're saying. My daughter runs around the house saying "mega please" to everyone, and it is hilarious. That's amazing. That is hands down incredible. Mega please. Mega. I really need a shirt that says "mega please." Really need that. If you guys want that, let me know. I think we're gonna have to make that happen. You know, I think we really got to make that one happen. Out of all the shirts, mega please, that's a good one to have. Tina, Coach, don't yell at me. But I think y'all are confused about the pastor disclosure meeting. Which one? From the UFO disclosure. Okay. There's an episode of the confessionals where Tony explains he organized it, and his point was to let pastors know to not be deceived. The episode is called "I Was in the Pastor Alien Disclosure Meeting. It's real, but not what you think." Okay. Let me see here. Let's look that up. Look up what you're talking about here. Interesting. Why do no videos pop up? You're saying it's from the confessionals? Okay, there it is. Let's see. Let me see here. What he has to say. Okay. Addressing the viral rumors.
I'm not dealing with this. I'm just going to ignore this, and I'm not going to talk about it. And through counsel of mentors and stuff like that over the last 2 days, I came to understand that this is a great opportunity for the gospel to be preached. Amen. This is a great opportunity for the truth of the situation to be exposed.
I really like this guy, but when he says that sounds interesting. You know, this is a great opportunity. It sounds like some Rob McCoy stuff, but let's see where he goes.
And all roads lead back to Jesus. Mm-hmm. And that gives me excitement. And so that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And I have several outlets that want to talk to me today after the show. So where this all started, from me, let me just say this. Where it all started in the last 48 hours was a viral video that went viral with Perry Stone, who is a pastor here in East Tennessee. And he shared information that was shared with him. And I don't know who Perry talked to. I don't believe it was somebody that I'm associated with. I'd say I don't 100% know, but I don't believe it was based off the information Perry was relaying. Mm-hmm. I think, I'm going to jump forward to jump back. I believe after analyzing a lot of this stuff, I think that there's a likelihood, a chance that there was a different meeting that was discussed.
Okay, I think he knows. I'm very quick to jump to conclusions. I don't care. I think he knows. He's like, oh, I think there was another meeting. I think it was the same meeting, and I think that Perry Stone guy is telling the truth, and I think this guy was sent in to do damage control. I know. You'll hate me. I love this podcast. I do, but that's what it sounds like just from hearing that really, really quick. I think maybe there was another meeting. I don't know, because this is just from me, because I didn't hear. We just went through this with Candace Owens and Turning Point and donors and everything. I have 3 donors that said yes. Well, I have 3 donors that said no. Well, my donors are going into this article, so mine are more real than yours, and they saw the video. Okay. All right. I don't know. I don't know. It sounds weird. Sounds weird to me. You know, this guy Perry Stone, he's saying these things, but also it's like, maybe there was another meeting? Maybe there was another one? You're both from Tennessee. There was only one meeting, you know? But, and also, what else would these pastors tell you? Oh yeah, it was a meeting on how we could deceive hundreds and thousands of people. Yeah. No, I was in the meeting. Yep. They were telling us about how these are going to come down, these demons. And we're supposed to tell people that it's godly, and we have to prepare people. So we're supposed to put in some, predictive programming into our sermons and whatnot. So people, you think they're going to come out and say that to you? They're going to come out and say, hey, just so you know, some people are saying this was meant to deceive you. I don't know. That's not what I heard when I was there. I don't know. So Tina, you're saying that I shouldn't yell at you. Tina, please don't yell at me for what I just said. Okay. Please. Let's not yell at each other, Tina. All right. But thank you for that. I'm gonna watch that video because I like that guy's podcast. His podcast is cool. Ryan, coach, I've teamed up with Claude, the computer. Okay. And we ran a structural analyst on Ben Shapiro's retirement philosophy versus Ebenezer's Scrooge. Oh, Ebenezer Scrooge. Both pre and post redemption Scrooge, it seems like Shapiro would label the enlightened Ebenezer a socialist. I want you to break this down, please. Thank you. God bless. From Marshfield, Massachusetts, home of the, what is this? Peregrine? What is it? Peregrine White, the first American baby. All right. I mean, how am I going to break it down? What do you mean? You got to give me more of the information you got if you want me to break it down. Well, all right. Oh, I will. I got you. Well, you got to tell me everything. So he would think of Ebenezer Scrooge. He would label the enlightened Ebenezer as a socialist. All right. Why? Because enlightened Ebenezer wanted to throw his money around and stuff. I don't know. You got to break down the whole thing for me here. Come on, coach, pull it together. Gotta get. I hate when people talk like this. You have no idea how sick I am. Or how sick I was. Gotta get it together. Hydrate. Forget the others. Not good to mix. Coconut water, Celtic salt hydration pack. You're not supposed to have hydration packs just randomly. You know that? A lot of people don't know that. You're not supposed to just be doing electrolytes all crazy, especially if you're not sweating them out a lot. You're not supposed to do that. I learned that the hard way. You're not supposed to have too much. And it also matters which ones you have. Every time I look into electrolytes, this is the first thing I do. Every time I look into electrolytes, anything, I type in the name of the company that I'm looking at, and I just write Forever Chemical Lawsuit. Do that. There is a lot of them that are in lawsuits for Forever Chemicals. It's really weird how many there are. Ethan B. Comedy. Are you a comedian? First off, love and prayers for you and your growing family. I was watching your video on Tucker and Kevin O'Leary's debate, and YouTube timed out or shut off or whatever. I opened it back up to go to the history, to go back to the video, gone. So I'm curious. I search you on YouTube. I find I've been unsubscribed for about 2 years. Okay, that's kind of on you though. The 2 years? 2 years, bro? 2 years you haven't been checking? What's going on with you? I got unsubscribed from Candace twice, and I jumped back on no problem. They couldn't keep me off for more than 24 hours. You got to check, man. 2 years? 2 years? It's kind of crazy. Sounds like the power is you, Ian. Danes? Are you talking about Danks there? Candace, Baron, Lionel, Valhalla VFT, Jimmy Dore, Joe Rogan, Jesse on fire, and just so many more. All right. Well, thank you. Did you resubscribe? You didn't even tell us that. Oh, I'm praying for you to get well soon. I like that you're listening to your body. Before doctors, our ancestors used herbs, the clove, the one clove, 1/8 teaspoon of oregano oil, a squeeze of lemon, and honey to taste will help you get well soon. Prayers to you. Peace and love. Peace and good health to you all, or just to me this time. Okay. Thank you so much.
Hey, Coach. I wanted to show you what I've been working on.
Okay.
Here is my set. Hopefully you can see all the little details on everything. I have had so much fun building it. And of course, all of the kiddos are diverse. I'll make sure I brush everyone's hair before I actually start filming. And here's the principal's office. You can't tell, she likes pink and purple. But what took me the longest was probably this little bin of Barbie clothes.
Oh my gosh.
I taught myself how to sew to make Barbie clothes for this. I didn't want to pay for Barbie clothes. It's way too expensive. And a lot of the times it's scantily clad. So I was like, nope, I'm going to make my own Barbie clothes. So I'm glad I know how to sew now. Well, at least Barbie clothes anyway. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know that I appreciate your support very much. And hopefully I will drop this by June 1st for the summer for the kids to have something to do. Peace and good health to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. So what are you going to do with the Barbies? The Barbies teach? How are you going to make a video of this? That's my question. That's the question you have to think of too. How are you going to make that into a video? And what kind of video is it going to be? You know? Also, who is this other dude? Where's this other dude? Ryan teamed up with AI Claude. Ryan would be the person to show you, because there's actually, I wish I could remember the channel. There's a channel that I follow, and it's AI Barbies doing crazy things. They're like lighting houses on fire, and they're partying, and they're dancing, and they're doing all sorts of crazy stuff. And they're Barbies, but it's done with AI. So that might be something you'd be able to do. You know, you could take that scene that you have, and you could possibly do something like that. But let me know how you're going to film it. You know, I could give you some, like, I can understand how you could film that. You'd have to do it very much kind of like, almost like the way Mr. Rogers used to do puppet stuff, almost like that, but you don't have the same puppets that he has. But you'd have to make it in a way where you don't care that people can see that you're moving them around. You have to really just embrace that, you know, the same way South Park embraces that their characters just look dumb. They look ridiculous. They just look, you know, not well done at all. You have to just kind of embrace that. It's just like, I'm moving it. I'm doing this. And then you'd have to film from up top. So you'd have a tripod and a camera pointed down. You could do this with a GoPro. You get a GoPro, point it down like that, and then just do the whole thing that you're going to do. And then when you switch to the other room, you just do a cut and editing. That's pretty easy. And then you could do that whole thing over there. Yeah, I could see how this could be Robot Chicken. Yeah, no, it's not Robot Chicken, but it is the same type of graphics as Robot Chicken, the channel that I'm thinking of. I wish I knew what it was. I would show it to you guys. But thank you so much for that. Let us know when it goes live. If you need any tips for filming, let me know. Like what your vision is for the whole thing. Someone said, please don't say puppet stuff. What do you mean puppets? Like, why not? Like, that's what it is, you know? And it's not for you. You're an adult woman. Who is this? S. Joe? Oh gosh. I'm not gonna go on a Joe rant right now, but I could just based on your name. I'm not gonna do that though. But S. Joe, it's not for you. It's for kids. You know? It's for little kids. Little kids love that stuff. Christine Lisi, go to the doctor and have a blessed, restful weekend with your precious family. I did not go to a doctor, not because I didn't want to, but it's just like, I know what's going on, you know? I used to get sick like this when I would smoke. When I was a smoker and I'd smoke like 2 packs of cigarettes a day, I would get sick like this every year. Now this doesn't happen. This is like the first time this has happened in years, maybe 5 years. So, Gen X says, you Tucker laugh slays me. Thank you very much. I can still do it, even though my throat's all messed up. Kathleen, please take a few days off and take care of yourself, coach. Don't want this to go into walking pneumonia. Yeah. I checked into all that. Don't worry. You've been scaring me, and I've been thinking about it every single day since you've said this, because I read it before. But that's fine. Don't worry about it. You know, you scared the life out of me. It's completely fine. It's okay. But you know, I was in bed last night and I was coughing stuff up, and I just kept thinking about it because like I was wheezing kind of, and I was like, I just kept thinking of walking pneumonia because you put that phrase into my head. But it's completely fine. It's okay. You know, things happen. It's all right. Anyway. Oh yeah, and then this one. I read this one already, though. Heather apologized. Heather, aka Rachel, apologized. So that was cool. Very nice. Anyway, let's see if there's more. Let's see if more popped up. Big Goy Paloy. So, with my birthday song, my friend came over. with my birthday cake, and we played you singing for it, so no one else had to embarrass themselves. That's actually amazing. Thank you. Hope you enjoy the IG drop of goodies I sent. I will check that out. Thank you so much. Someone else said, happy birthday. I know I said happy birthday already, but happy birthday again. This is a crazy name. I mean, VA 2 up, 2 down. Okay. Lindsey Graham looks like he smells like menthol cigarettes and wet socks. And it's about to ask you to borrow your phone charger and your your Netflix password. Lindsey's rich. Believe you me, Lindsey don't need no Netflix password. You know, Lindsey probably owns a lot of Netflix stock. Lindsey has his own phone charger, probably on his own plane. Lindsey is very, very rich. Very, very rich. Chef Shannon, what do you think EK was promised? Power, money, fame, political office, all of those. All of them. All of that. Everything you just said. That's what I think. I think that's been the conquest the entire time. And I think that's what she was promised. That's what I think. Mama, coach called me a surrogate. I ain't carrying no damn baby. I'm a boy. Baby, don't worry. You ain't no surrogate. Baby, you got a baby? No, I ain't got no baby, mama. Well, surrogate have a baby, boy. You got grandbaby for me? Mama, ain't no grandbaby. Come on. I ain't got no surrogate. I got a wife. I got kids. Come on, mama. You know I love me a baby. Anyway, I think there's another one. This will be the last one. Or I think there's some other ones. I know it popped up because I can see it right here, but for some reason, it's not showing on the website. See, that's a little clunky there. Let me see. Yeah, it's not showing. I can read it here, but for some reason it's not showing. Charmo says, "Hi, coach. Love your content. Just wanted to add that at some point, Candace is going to have to address Charlie Kirk's questionable character, his immense naivety in his private and professional life. Secondly, an unintended consequence of Turning Point 2.0 actions are affirming that Charlie Kirk was not only a massive grifter, he was also a hypocrite because he didn't believe anything he was pushing. At this point, I'm not sure why he still. No, he did. He did still care. Like, even though she showed those text messages from 2023 where he was really questioning a certain like religious script, he still did believe in it, and he always rationed it because he was like, I love the sites. He'd be like, you cannot like the government. This is what he was saying near the end. You cannot like the government. He's like, but the sites are protected by that government. He said, if there's another government that stepped in of another faith, then those sites where Jesus walked and, you know, all those things would all be destroyed. And it was kind of like, okay, I kind of see what he's saying, because they kind of did do that through the Middle East a lot. They kind of did wreck a lot of history, like a lot of history. It was crazy. Like things that were just thousands and thousands of years old, 10,000 years old, they destroyed. That's how he usually rationed that out when it came to that place in the Middle East. And then when it comes to his character, these are all things that you believe more than anything. This is not, I find it so funny when people are like, Candace is going to have to address the things that I think. I mean, it's getting to that point. She doesn't have to address this. This was her friend. Maybe she doesn't believe that he was a grifter. Surprise, surprise. One of his best friends doesn't believe he was a grifter. She doesn't think he was naive in his private and professional life. And also it's like, he can't be a super massive grifter and also naive. So if he's a grifter, then he wasn't naive and he knew exactly what he was doing. If he is naive, then you can't really call him a grifter, because then he was just naive enough to go along with everything that was going on. So you got to kind of pick a side there, but your own thought processes are showing more so than what Candace has to actually start addressing. Glad I could help. Friend of the show, Charmo. Anyway, let's keep going here. What else we got? I saw we had a few more of these super chats, and then I got to get going. We are at 3 hours, ladies and gentlemen. Coach with the most. Let's pray for Trump to take some Ibogaine and get out of Iran. That would be interesting. That'd be very interesting. I've done an episode on this before because I was covering a Joe Rogan episode where they talked about this, but not every single time someone takes one of those things does it turn into like a peace and love moment. You know, someone could take something like that or, you know, stuff like this, and they could just be like, I actually am a god. I didn't realize it. I always thought it, but it turns out I am, and I have control over the universe. And what? I have control over the universe. I have control over this world. Ugh, I am a god, and I see how it works now. You have no idea what will happen to somebody if they do those things. It's not necessarily that they'll just be like, oh my God, I love everybody. That's not what happens to everybody who does those things. But, you know, have faith, I guess, you know. Don't look down upon Erika's food choices. She's a connoisseur of fine wine, tube steak, and clam. It's disgusting. Bada bing, I'm here all week. Get back to work. That's absolutely. Tube steak, absolutely disgusting. The worst possible way to describe it. Tube steak, absolutely disgusting. Wow. Never heard it. Never heard it ever. So disgustingly put. Big Goy Paloy spamming about Fleet. I don't know what's going on with Fleet, man. Last thing I saw was Spotify. I gave the advice of Spotify, and then all of a sudden, like hours later, I saw that there was a Spotify. So that's where she's at, I believe. But again, you can message these people. You can message, like, people message me all the time. You can definitely message her. Be like, yo, what's up? Please boot. Yeah, okay. I got it. Okay, so that was everything. All right. Thank you guys so much. We are gonna head out now. I gotta head out of here. I gotta lay down, honestly. I'm still at a point where I'm like, okay, I gotta rest still. I think I'm gonna work out quickly, like just nothing crazy. Just see what it's like, see how much stuff I cough up just from doing a workout. And I might do another cardio session. I'm not playing around with this weight loss anymore. I'm not coddling this weight loss anymore. Okay. Your boy's getting ripped and rambunctious this year, okay? Your boy's getting ripped and rambunctious this year. You guys just wait, okay? So thank you guys so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. I am back. We are going to be back tomorrow. Of course, we will be back tomorrow. Candace is going to be talking about this, I believe. Her back and forth with Blake. I believe she's also going to be talking about that article that came out. Past that, I do not know what she'll be talking about at all. Couldn't possibly tell you. I am the Candace Whisperer, but I think it's going to be a lot of Blake. I think it's going to be a lot of White House stuff, and then possibly data centers. I would love to hear more of her take on the whole data center thing. Kevin O'Leary in Utah and everything. I liked where Barron was going. I didn't even get to talk about it today, but I was listening to Barron's episode in the morning and him talking about Charlie being connected to data centers, because who else could possibly put data centers in a good light to the conservative young base? I really found that interesting. And then he was talking about Pierre and how Pierre could be connected to this whole thing. I found that very interesting. So I got to listen to the rest of that episode. Anyways, guys, I am out of here. I will see you tomorrow. And I think we did good for coming back. Energy levels getting better. I'll see you guys soon. And pray for Theo Vaughn, because they're temperature checking him.